not a good day. Let's just go with this. Let's make this happen. We're all dead.
That's the best way to open this.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody.
Roll new character.
Hey, everybody. This is my last episode because I'm going to kill myself. Okay. I got it out there. Let's do it.
But you don't have to edit that stuff out.
But it's on live now. You
Here's
can.
my suicide note. I don't fucking care anymore. Get the fuck out of here. Goodbye. This is it. I hope you enjoyed the
Hey,
episode.
everybody. This is Legends of Tabletop. I'm not John.
Legends of what's up? I'm not alive anymore after you hear this. This is 7 months after my death. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Actually, we don't have any of these episodes in the can, so
No, it's only like 4 weeks. Yeah.
Oh. 4 weeks ago, I died. You're welcome. Anyway, let's go.
All right. So I'm going to cut all that out then.
No, you're not.
Oh, we started?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't look for the live thing. I'm not a professional. I don't have any Patreon supporters like this.
Neither do we, so it's cool.
What? Did they leave?
Oh,
Yeah, I guess the charge never went through, so yeah. Anyhow.
Well, I think
Damn it, Karen.
People are using that Legends 10 that I'm pretty sure. I think they're just Googling it because it was on a site. And I was like, wait, someone from St. Petersburg used Legends 10. They're not listening to me do this show.
It's your wife.
They Googled it and I Googled it and it's like there's like a coupon. I might have to change it up. Keep them on the code.
there you go.
Hey, as long as I'm making money, I don't care.
Freeloading bastards. Someone did buy it because they just bought one of everything that I had.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is a friend of mine. But I said I'd give him a free bag because I have one bag of the Burundi left. I was like, I'll give it to you. And he ordered 4 bags. Was just like, fuck it. I'll order one of everything. So, friend from high school. Just it was like, fuck it. Anyway, John, you do the intro. I'm going to load up the notes because I don't know what's happening.
All right.
Neither do we.
Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're getting ready to start our Rogue Trader game, I guess, sort of. Maybe we'll play for a little bit tonight. But last time, after we had slaughtered some servitors in the mausoleum, we were looking around and didn't see anything else in particular. Venari had Kane, the servo skull, tap into one of the dead servitors, try to pull some information out. I don't remember if it was Emmaus or Kynnoch kicked one of the corpses down the elevator shaft. And surprisingly enough, shortly thereafter, the elevator started to come up. We all hid except for Jarnan, who decided to step to the side of the elevator doors. And again, unsurprisingly, as the person came out, turned to see Jarnan. What we weren't expecting was a huge tech priest who had, well, demons chained to him. So there was that. Venari stepped out after a couple of tense moments between Jarnan and the tech priest. Thought we had everything smoothed over. Maybe we were going to work some kind of deal, but Kynnoch got a burr in his saddle. I don't know, something about, not being a slave to the emperor. I don't know. But took matters into his own hands and decided to melt everything, pretty much, which was cool, I guess, right? Saved us from being horribly murdered and ending a campaign. And then we went down into the deep part of the mausoleum and found an armless and legless demon secured by chains behind a force field being bled, I guess. And they were collecting the black warp null goo in a big pool. So we talked to the old tech priest that was there, try to get some information. And as we closed out the episode, the demon who had beckoned us to Agusia in the first place showed up, had some words to say, and then we faded out. So I don't know where we're picking it up, if we're going to fast forward, if we're going to pick it up from there. I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, I'm going to have to get clarification. Did I actually say something, or did you just appear?
He appeared and said something to you.
It's been so long. I don't remember.
So you have, found the place or followed the clues. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do now? And
also something about like you can find me at any location of significant power or something like that.
Yeah.
So I would assume. I mean, I guess I'll ask the group. Do you want to like have a conversation with him about this, or are you just like?
Well, so the demon left. Like he said what he said and faded out. But
Okay.
Depending on how much information you want to say happens in the background, right? So like we didn't get the old tech priest's name, which at some point we would have gotten that.
Yes. Which do you want me to say it now? I can give it to you now if you want. But
yeah, I do that.
Wait, the one you killed or no?
No, the other one, the old guy who was tending to the demon.
Yes. Darius Adolium, which is the dynasty of the
what? See, I don't know. I feel like that has to be a conversation then, right? Like he's go ahead.
Yeah, so Darius Adolium, which Adolium is the dynasty that's the tomb is dedicated to. Yes, is the tech priest bound to obtain this substance.
Well, so like, so when we're having a conversation and he's like, "Oh yeah, so I'm Darius Adolium," like, Venari looks at Jarnan like, what the fuck is that all about? Like, I don't know that goes to pass. Maybe it does. I don't know. The other thing that
it's up to you guys. We can retcon conversations or whatever as you want. But yes. What was the other one? What's the other?
So like thinking ahead, right? So like we theoretically control the demon in the pool while we have boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to figure that out. But Venari then would have, said, all right, like, well, like, what are the account number? Like, how am I getting paid if we're going to keep this under our control, right? Like, assuming that
I for some reason, I didn't know what you decided to do with, because I thought it was debate whether to like kill the demon and just destroy the place or keep using it. I thought that we left with like the demon being like, hey, got this cool thing, so like do whatever you want with it. And then I thought it was up for debate what you're doing with it. Like,
yeah,
are you going to exploit it? Are you going to do what Jarnan and I thought the idea was? At least I had in a note of like the idea of like you could just destroy this demon, and use that. You could destroy the demon and wipe out this influence. You could use its blood to do whatever you want to do with it, or any other creative ideas you may have.
Venari is trying to sell Jarnan on the idea of making like holy demon killing bullets, right? Like that was the pitch the last time we played when we sort of found out what was going on, and Jarnan seemed amenable to it at the time.
So
we never decided for sure, like, but we know Haldane is coming tomorrow, right? So we told the tech priest, continue your work, package up your shit for him, and then let's try to figure out what we're gonna do. And that's kind of where we left it. And like meta wise, we never like settled it in chat in the last month, so it's still kind of up in the air.
Okay, so let's say then you have officially gotten the message from the unnamed. That's what I'm calling the demon that spoke with you.
Mm-hmm.
Darius is, for all intents and purposes, working for you so long. Like you have murdered his predecessor, or the one who was in charge of him. He is willing to do whatever it is you request. So he's on the mission to provide Haldane what he has requested, what he is owed for the next month. He will defer to your orders, and you are now back aboard your ship, the Heretic's Bane, and discussing what you do next. You know, another rogue trader, obviously, Zax Haldane, is a major trader in these goods, and obviously taking the lion's share of the profit, theoretically, right? He's the significant provider. In the meantime, or at the same time, you realize it's being used not necessarily as a weapon currently to fight psychic influences, but more as a tool to disguise psychers and biological weapons of some sort, obviously, for people to then utilize for either demon hosts or other unsequestered psyker abilities that are obviously super dangerous, but at the same time, collateral damage there. You have them do their damage, and then you just fucking put a bolt pistol to their head if you need to. So that's the current situation. So you are back aboard your ship, and I guess at this point having the conversation of what do you do next? You are preparing the shipment for Haldane. Everything will go smoothly there. He won't see anything different than he normally does in his handoff. But now, moving forward, obviously you have decisions to make on what you want to do with this resource, whether it be destroy it, keep utilizing it, utilize it in a different way, who you tell about it, who you don't tell about it, etc.
Sure. So I feel like they're probably like in a command room, right? So they're not on a bridge so everybody can hear it.
No, of course. Yeah, this would be in like the officer's room.
Right. So that went fairly well, I guess. What are your thoughts concerning our newfound situation? I know, Jarnan, we spoke a little bit about perhaps turning this into something useful for the numerous demons we keep encountering. My thought would maybe to contact the Adeptus Mechanicus and bring them in to see whether or not they can manipulate this in a way that would be helpful for us. I know its current use is contrary to what you would consider pious.
If you can figure out a way to actually use this to the advantage of the God Emperor, I will back you in that. Everybody drops their glass.
Well, again, it would be, I guess, up to the skill of the Adeptus Mechanicus. We could go through my contact at Town Tracks and see. He would be the one I would most trust with this. Of course, I would leave at his discretion as to who he would send or bring in on such a venture.
With one caveat.
Yes.
I don't want to have anything to do with the individual doing this for you.
Oh, yes, that seems probably wise.
Then I am for it.
Is this one of those situations where if we get caught, this is something that you don't know anything about?
Plausible deniability. There is a saying in the school that I was taught at. Somebody cannot hang themselves unless you give them enough rope to do it.
He nods and kind of like scratches his chin, but like he doesn't get that you're needling him necessarily.
There's also a saying in the church, don't ask, don't tell.
It seems like there would be more than enough of this goo to go around if they could indeed figure out a way to make ammunition from this. As far as the other rogue trader, Haldane, how do you feel about him continuing his shipments just for now, at least? We do a little bit of research to see. I believe we may not be a match for him militarily right now.
I mean, we're getting. He may be getting a bigger portion of any kind of profit from this, but we still will gain some financial advantage from this. I think us staying behind the mask, as it were, at the moment is probably the best plan of action. If we can't attack him frontally, it may just be better to keep our head down until we find a better solution for either taking more of the profit from this or just letting it play itself as is. We will gain benefits from this. I don't know if we want to overextend ourselves at this moment.
And like Venari pulls out a data pad, he's tapping away, and he's like, we stand to make a fairly decent profit. Blood of a demon is not cheap. Kynnoch, I know you have some reservations of your own.
I believe that my views on the situation differ slightly. It being my kin that have previously been used for these experiments, so long as I can get reassurance that that portion of the outfit will be discontinued, I am along with whatever you, Captain, or you, Jarnan, feel is appropriate.
I have no desire to chain psychers to create these hosts. I don't even know how, even if I wanted to. And with the other tech priest gone, I don't know that Darius has the ability on his own to create such things. Useful as they may be, that's certainly not something that I'm interested in participating in.
Maybe something that I would wish to discuss with him later, simply to look into exactly how they procured their subjects and to what extent their torturous activities went. But yes, I agree with you on that.
I suppose then we should get with the choir and get a message back to Talon Tracks and see what his initial impressions may be. He does have a vial of the goo, the blood currently. See if he's gleaned any information from that which he already has. I feel we may only control this resource as long as we are present, as we cannot stay here. May be wise to reinforce this area in some fashion. If Haldane finds out that the other priest is no longer in play, then he may move in and try to take over this resource himself, which would deny us a certain amount of thrones and maybe holy weapons, but would otherwise not cause us great distress, I suppose. Jarnan trucks. Not useful on audio podcast. Do we have, so in the conversations then with Darius, is there like the equivalent of like bank account info? The volume of blood that Haldane is picking up, on a monthly basis.
He would have logistical information. So, what volume of shipments he is responsible for, who they are bound to, and that sort of thing. But monetarily, no. So, he's essentially like the dock master. So, he collects what needs to be collected, packages it, and has it ready. The tech priest that you bested, which I need to look.
Murdered.
Yeah. Why am I blanking? Why can't I look this up?
Is it Abernath?
Oh yeah, Abernath, Somnius Abernath. He would be the one. All of his information would be the sort of information that ties it all together. So shipments with throne transfers or other cargo negotiations, that sort of thing. So all that you would get from Darius is really who is owed what, or who was owed what, and what the delivery schedule was. Everything else would be part of Somnius's, records.
And would Darius have access to that? Is there some way for us to be able to try to suss out that information now that he's dead?
Darius would not have access to that. Somnius is dead. You have his body. I would assume he has a data slate on him as well. I assume he had his shuttles. The ones that you noticed were sort of half cargo, half military shuttles that were outside. Those, you would assume he has some sort of capital ship as well in order to move readily throughout the expanse. So he couldn't. It would be unlikely he would be entirely planet bound. He would have had some ship that was transporting him to do whatever business he was involved in.
Okay, so then it's not long before somebody finds out that he's not coming back.
Theoretically.
So maybe we can discuss further with Darius, or I could have Kane attempt to crack the codes for Abernath's ship so we may access his records. Given enough time, I'm sure Kane could probably do it. It may be more expedient to have Darius do it, or maybe even bring in, the fuck is our tech priest name? Tim? We might be able to bring Tim down and have him take a crack at it. If we could get access to those transactions, those records, that would be obviously through some dummy corporation, so we can't be tracked down ourselves, but that would be a very nice influx of thrones. This may be a resource that we have use of for just a limited time until Abernath, they find out he's not going to be returning. They may come to investigate. Thoughts, gentlemen?
I don't want to know. Plausible deniability.
Indeed. He turns to the other two.
I believe that if we are able to carry on business as usual in place of our unfortunate tech priest, then all the better.
Indeed, I don't disagree.
I don't know if maybe a more direct approach under the circumstances may work out the best if we don't have any of the information we need to make this worth our while. If we can't track incomings and outgoings and get our hands on it, and the fact that Aberneth's disappearance will eventually be known, it may just be better to make ourselves more visible from the off whenever the next shipment comes through. Not as necessarily a show of force, but maybe as a show of control of this. If Haldane comes and sees that we are now the choke point for this, it may serve us better than him finding out on his own. I'm assuming if we don't get any information from the Servo Skull that they're going to be transacted and we're not going to see any benefit from it, at least for the next shipment or so.
Dude, I cannot disagree with you, Emmaus. I feel like if other rogue traders, if there are others involved in this business acquisition, that if they find out that the previous powers are gone and that they believe that there is a void, then they might attempt to take control. However, if you put your foot down and say that you are the one running this organization now, they might have a second thought about attempting to move in. I think that if they know that you are here right from the start, then we will not have to deal with so much humdrum.
We'll have to investigate this rogue trader Haldane then and see how he moves, what his connections are. I will radio up to have Tim brought down. Because the ship's in orbit, right? Like, we're shuttled down. Yeah. So I have Tim. And then I will get with the choir and contact Talon Tracks.
Well, I think
I'd like to believe that we are all sitting at a table drinking Amasec. And then your Amasec. But then in the background of us is still this quadriplegic demon.
It's like, and it's like squirt, a little bit of. I mean, it literally has like fucking tubes and like ports and tubes and stuff that like literally spew out into like a pool of black goo. It's literally like milking this demon's lifeblood into a pool of anti-psycho juice. That's what we're dealing in, just so you know.
Yep. And then we have Darius every once in a while with a bucket. It goes over. He's almost like one of the mindless brooms from the Emperor's from the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Just like,
and he has a build pump, and he puts it into a barrel. And that barrel goes into some sort of thing that then like purifies. You know, it's a little more scientific. But yeah, he basically scoops up demon juice and fucking purifies it into anti-psycho juice. All right, come on.
That's and that's what's happening in the background while we're discussing business opportunities.
You're like, what do we do about this? And it's like squanch. It's like globe, and it's like goo. Yeah, that's what's happening. While you're trying to figure out what the hell you're gonna do with anti-psycho demon blood.
I would like to
go ahead.
I would like to retcon real quick though that before we leave, like we take a sample, whatever, like 55-gallon drum. We take
you can take as much as you need is available. Yes, you could take whatever scientific 2-liter container that has like some containment. It isn't just like a soda bottle.
If we're leaving Tim.
Well, Tim's not
if
there
we're
yet,
leaving, yeah,
but
right,
he
yeah.
is-
I mean, but if we're gonna if we're leaving Tim on the planet, then we're gonna need a
No,
new
no.
head tech priest.
We're not leaving
We're not
Tim.
gonna leave-
Tim's
oh,
Yeah,
we're not
are
leaving.
you leaving Tim as your like?
Oh.
That's ballsy.
Tim is coming down to crack into the
Oh, okay.
shuttles so we can access or
Yeah.
attempt to access the information that Abernath had so we
Yeah.
can get some thrones out of this. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's all for nothing.
But who are you? I'm assuming that somebody would have to stay behind in some kind of force, like. So you're gonna have to here.
Well,
do
that's
this
my
in character.
concern.
We'll do it in character. Yeah. So exactly, who are you? Who are you choosing to be able to oversee this little operation if we choose to continue upon this business? I'm assuming that you cannot just leave it as be and hope to the God Emperor that nobody will overtake your venture.
No, well, that is part of the problem. Darius seems to be on our side, as it were. If we are not here, though, I don't know how loyal he would be necessarily, but we are leaving him unmolested. So I think we have him on our side for the most part. But if someone were to find out that Somnius has been dealt with, members from his own faction may come to reclaim this resource. I want to speak with Explorator Talontrax and see what progress he's made thus far and see what he suggests if perhaps he would like to put in a contingent here as well to hold the fort, as it were.
Well, if I recall from our discussion with him, he seemed quite surprised by the substance that we had handed over for study. So I am not necessarily sure that he is aware of this little procedure going on at the moment.
I don't think we need anybody to run what's going on. We just need someone here to stop what just happened, and I'll look around, from happening again to us.
Yes, we need to ensure that what we were able to do, nobody else will be able to do.
Let's make sure no one else murders the fuck out of us. And got it.
I think the key thing is if we can't get any information if Tim cannot get any information, then we're going to have to make ourselves more visible, because there's no use running this and the risk attendant with it unless we're getting some benefit. It's not we're not necessarily doing anything charitable, and we are kind of skirting the boundaries of the God Emperor's goodwill. So we definitely need to get something out of this to make it worth the risk. So I guess it comes down to if we are able to get the information we need on incomings and outgoings. If not, then we'll have to make ourselves known.
Yes, it is a bold step.
Now, Neil, sorry, I have a world question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So on the ship, what would the likely? So I know that that the Navigator probably doesn't work alone necessarily. Like he probably has people that work in, but the likelihood. But... Yeah, I would. So, but the likelihood that they are either navigators or have any type of psyker touch to them is slim to none, right?
You could have some very limited number of sort of low level navigators that would be in your employ. They would be, it's like if you were like the master and they're the trainee, right? But you wouldn't have it. They certainly are not. They would be, super low level. They wouldn't be, fully developed navigators. They may be on sort of those, apprentice type missions to become a full navigator, so that they are using their skills to supplement yours in a way to sort of learn how to do it themselves. But you wouldn't have any, you're the sole navigator in the sense of the ability to literally navigate the ship through the warp.
Yep. Yeah. All right. All right. Cool.
Like no one else gets us through they could try, but they'll be very, very under skilled for that type of process. So yes, you would essentially be, you're the actual one that can do it, and they may be learning, but it would be at best a handful, and even that they would be psychically touched, limited, and under your command.
Sounds good. Okay. I might use that later.
What sort of role would it be to find out information on Haldane? Is that Common Law Imperium? Is there a Common Law Rogue Trader?
No, there's I believe it's Forbidden Law Rogue Trader. Let me double check. But I know there's a Rogue Trader. Like, knowing about Rogue Traders, I don't know why you wouldn't have that. But
I actually don't think I do.
Because Venari is a horrible Rogue Trader.
Let me double check.
Traders can't, which didn't work out the way that I wanted it to.
Well, I mean, yeah, if someone else has it, that's great.
Yeah, Jarnan does. That's the problem.
Turns out that it's actually short for traders can't lead for shit.
Yeah. Or Rogue Traders can't find anyone else who speaks. Rogue Traders can't. Let me see. Lore.
There's a thing about like warrants and shit like that. I don't know if that's the one you're thinking of.
Well, to know about other Rogue Traders, you would have to know about that particular. Let me double check. It's a knowledge skill, but I just don't remember which one it is, and it's really hard to figure that out through.
Flip. Yeah. So much editing. I'm
like, John, just edit all this out.
Is it No, it's not acrobatics.
Yeah, it's acrobatics. You do a twist and a double entendre, and then you get it. I don't know why it would be forbidden lore per se.
I don't think it would be forbidden lore.
It doesn't look like it's forbidden lore. Could be common. Wait,
common lore. Adeptus Arbites, Adeptus Telepathica, Adeptus Mechanicus, Administratum, Ecclesiarchy, Imperial Creed, Navy, Rogue Traders. Understanding of the most famed warrants of trade and their bearers and the vessels carrying them throughout the Imperium.
Yeah, it's common lore Rogue Traders. There you go. That's what you would need to roll.
I don't have that.
Well, you suck. You don't know your Look, number one, know your competitors.
Right, I don't even know if that's a skill I could take.
I can't make an exception. You do need that skill to be able to do that check. Because, I mean, you could do it at half, obviously, but
I'm gonna try.
You definitely would need to know about rogue. You would definitely train in Rogue Traders to be like, what do I know about this Rogue Trader?
Oh, that's a first rank skill.
Wait. What rank are you guys? 3?
Yeah, I just
and you haven't taken that.
I don't care about other people.
You know what? I don't care. I blame you.
I mean, that's fair.
I blame you.
All right, look, I'm rolling at a 20.
There you go.
Let's see what happens. No, I got a 49.
Yeah, you have never. I mean, the name sounds familiar because someone told it to you.
Right. I think that guy in Ballantine mentioned him. I can't really recall.
Yeah, someone in Ballantine mentioned it, and it showed up as the next delivery from Darius. That's all you know.
Puts us at a little bit of a disadvantage. All right. Well, so he hits the button. Boop. It's like, get Tim on a shuttle. I need him down here, planet side. Thank you.
10-4. Tim, boarding the next shuttle down.
Thank you. All right. Well, we've got some time to kill until Tim gets here, and we make the trek back over. Yeah. Well, let me call Explorer Talent Tracks. Let's find out what he's found out so far. And I guess that's more of a message system, right? Like working with a choir. That's not like
it's not so much a conversation as a like it would be akin to like a telegram, where it's not like a real-time conversation, more it's like a send a message and then wait a little bit, get a message back type deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got like an hour or so to kill, so Venari would do that then.
Okay. And what are you specifically relating to him?
He would go through some formalities, explore town tracks. I hope you're well. What information do you have given our last conversation about a specific item that was dropped in your care? Assuming that he would know what that meant, and then he would wait for a response.
Okay. That's me. I have to look up some notes. Remember what you dropped in his carrier?
He got a vial of the black goo. We left when we got back.
Okay.
Did you get that thing I sent you, Peter Potamus?
Yeah. Hey, did you get that thing? I'm like, shit.
I sent you.
It's been 7 months. Just read between the lines for me. Okay, you wait. Wait. So what was the message? I was distracted by the what the fuck is the I knew sent. How's things going? Got it. How's the goo? Got it.
Yeah. Did he discover any properties? What's the latest?
So you get back a message from the choir that the substance is unknown to Imperial / why am I blanking on the Tech Priests Association? The Mechanicus. Sorry. Okay, let me restart. Sorry. Don't get me started. Here we go. Edit point. He gets back to you with a message that says they received your sample. They have no data. It's a new substance, according to the Adeptus Mechanicus archives. They have not run across this particular substance before. It has extremely interesting properties in that it dampens psyker and psychic abilities, not only hiding them or obscuring them, but also if applied to psychers, the ability to dampen their ability to use their powers to channel the warp. It's not been cataloged, as they know, and of course is of utmost importance. This seems to be a substance of extreme importance to the Mechanicus higher echelon. This is something that could certainly turn the tide against various warp-related enemies of the Imperium, and he thanks you greatly for providing the sample.
how secure do we understand the choir to be? Right. So they're like lockdown psychers that like just do this fucking crazy shit.
I guess I don't know technically I'll admit I don't know per canon of the 40K universe. I'm going to say it is a direct secure line. Like a choir contacts a choir. Like there's no like I'm a choir and I'm listening in to that choir. Like I don't think that's a thing. I think it's an immaterial connection between two groups through the warp. And so I would say the sheer amount of interference and distortion would mean it's essentially what you would consider a secure line.
Okay. And this is my choir, so they know that I would kill them.
It is your choir.
Would you?
Okay. As much as you trust your choir, yes, your choir is beholden to you, and they are held by higher standards than you are. Man. So let me put it that way. They are 100% dedicated to the fact that you are acting in the best interest of the Imperium, and therefore are 100% dedicated to you. They do not question if you're doing some weird alien double dealing or anything. They are your choir, and they have been trained to project your words as you command. Theoretically, yes. Unless some crazy thing happens that you, I don't know, somehow, like, I haven't really made an astropath character for you to interact with. Maybe I will. But yes, your astropath is dedicated to you as a rogue trader by training. It's like a navigator. It's not like when you tell a navigator, like, go here, they're like, fuck you.
I don't know. Mine's pretty ornery. I don't know.
Right? If we're going by the rest of the crew and how Kynnoch and Jarnan treat Venari, then the astropath might not be any different.
It's a little different. So Kynnoch is still a navigator, so I think you still kind of have to navigate where he says. Jarnan is kind of not under a rogue trader's purview. He is and he isn't. He's on that fine line of I'm on your crew, but I'm also dedicated to the ecclesiarchy. So it's a real.
I don't think we never really talked about it, but like my feeling, like from the creation of the ship that we went through years and years and years ago, like we're on the heretic's bane. Like like in my headcanon, this ship is like it was more leaning towards being an ecclesiarchal hand, and like Venari just happens to be like the shitty rogue trader that is in charge of this ship. Like this is what he got handed, and Jarnan's there to almost like oversee him. So it's
I think like in the history of it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think in the history of it, it had dealings with the ecclesiarchy. I think that's how that was one of the path things that we took.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like in the exactly. Like in the past of it, it was. I think it was like a rogue ship that fought against the Imperial, that then got captured and was turned into an Imperial ship.
I don't know about
and
that.
So I'm kind of I think that's what we went through. But again, this is like thousands of years ago.
Yeah,
I think it was like during
like none of you were none of anyone you could name in your families.
Right. Yeah, so I think that's why it's the heretic's bane, is because it was captured by the Imperium and turned into an ecclesiarchal
it
ship.
Could be because there's
like way back.
There's a number of Imperial, there's a number of the not really revolt, but like groups, right? There's a lot of Space Marine contingents, right, that ended up rising up against the Imperium to say, you're not doing it right, and that sort of thing. So I don't remember. I have to look that up in your ship history, but yeah. So yes, all of you are, but again, all of you are technically independent ish. So I would hesitate to say that Jarnan in particular is the most independent, but a rogue trader's officer cadre are all sufficiently powerful to be more than just yes ma'am or yes sir, even if he doesn't ask for it. Now it does abide like a ship's hierarchy, but I would say out of all of them, Jarnan is Jarnan is like the ship's doctor on an old ship, right? So Emmaus would be like the bosun, right? He's the guy that like the crew's all together, blah blah blah. Kynnoch is the navigator. He's literally the one like with the maps and the astrolabe and all that sort of stuff. And Venari is the captain, and you answer to him. Although in a it's very much like a pirate ship. Everyone sort of has a say, but then Jarnan is more like the ship's doctor, where the ship's doctor could say to a captain like, "No, this soldier's dying. You cannot send him on a breaching mission against this fucking ship. I'm the doctor. What I say goes." So Jarnan does have a little bit more sway of independence, only because he does act sort of that independent chaplain / doctor. He's not a doctor, but in old-timey ship terms.
He heals.
Yeah,
he's the only one with Medicaid.
Yeah, right.
Whereas the other two of you are not bound necessarily by. So in pirate times, obviously, the issue was more, unless you were in an active battle, everyone kind of ran their own area. So the captain could say, "We're sailing to this place," but he wasn't like nitpicking like Emmaus, like, "Are you doing this the right way?" Or kind of like, "Are you sure you're navigating right?" Like, it was like, "We're going this way." The real captain's power was when things went to shit and you had to get into battle. Then it was like, my job is to organize people into fucking shit up and us not dying. Otherwise, you guys are in control of what your people do. Get us there, and I'll walk around and, make sure no one wants to overthrow shit. But, so, I will say, you guys do have... I want to try to keep sort of throwing that in there. You're not entirely beholden to his orders, per se. But yes, Jarnan would be the one most likely to be like, "That's fucked up." No, because he's a little outside, because he answers to a power that neither of the so there is no like navigator house that's going to be like, "Yeah, you're right. That rogue trader's doing fucked up shit. Let's destroy him." Right? Like, they're going to be like, "Well, you got assigned to him. Sorry." Right. It's like, "This guy is a fucking heretic. We got to fucking destroy this thing." And then it could be like, "Yeah, you're right. Let's do it." So just to set a little bit of sort of expectation of people doing or not doing what the captain says. I mean, you are supposed to be, weighing in, obviously. But Jarnan does have a little bit of leverage as the missionary to be kind of like, that's getting a little uncomfortable from God's side of things.
Well, I think we've
Uh,
done that
I-
for the most part, right? I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we've been pretty good
I
about that.
think you
Yeah.
guys have played that very well. So, but I just want to reiterate, also for the audience, like, well, why are they doing it when they just like? That's kind of how it works. You can't be persecuted per se. I mean, Venari won't be persecuted. I mean, you could literally walk up and be like, "Hey, Eldar, I'll give you 10,000. I'll give you this Imperial planet in exchange for this massive, awesome, cool artifact in the Corrodus Expanse." You technically couldn't be prosecuted for that because you're in the Expanse, and it's not an Imperial. Like, you could say, "I'll just give you this planet, but give me that real cool gun." And like, you couldn't be prosecuted. The Imperium would be like, "I don't know, that might be a really good gun." That's the deal, right? But Jarnan could be like, "That's fucked up. You can't serve up all these people for sacrifice," right? So
All right,
that's
Would Jarnan though?
like, how many flames does that gun
Yeah.
shoot out?
I mean,
And it's like, infinite flames. He's like, "I'm in."
I just want to make one correction. If Venari actually does cross that line in a really bad way, I don't think I would go to my superiors and be like, "You need to fuck that shit up." I will just burn him alive before I ever leave the ship.
Exactly what you did with with the mother,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, that seems to be his forte. He kills, and then he goes, and then you will go to the superiors and be like, "I killed her. This is why I followed these rules." Like, yada, yada, yada. Chapter 7, verse 3, this is what I did. And they're like, "Okay."
He's honestly one of the most functional missionaries I've ever seen. He's really good at it. He's really good at it. He is like, "Look, I'm gonna let that slide because it benefits the God Emperor." But then, like, nope, that crosses the line, and I will fucking flame you until you are ash. And like, that's what he does, and I love it. I think it works great.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Jarnan wouldn't fucking like go to he would just flame the bridge and then drive and be like, "Guys, I fucking burned these heretics and we've got a ship now." And they'd be like,
"Yeah, can you send a new navigator? We need someone to pilot the ship home."
"Yeah, we need some more crew, but like, we got it."
Also, I want to keep the name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'd probably put you as fucking captain at that point. You'd be Lord
And then we
Death.
play Death Watch.
Yep. All right. I don't know what's
All
happening.
right, so
anyway.
back to the choir. So he gets that response, and then kind of mulling it over, taking in that like it's probably secure, and they were the way they responded in kind. He's not as cagey. He sends a reply that says, "I have interesting news. I have information regarding the origins of the item in question. It is demon blood, and we have the ability currently to obtain large quantities." I guess leave it at that.
Okay.
Bring your money.
Within as fast as you can imagine a choir can communicate, you receive back, "Stop all communique via choir. Mechanicus finds this of utmost importance. Must communicate in person. Please return to station to discuss."
Don't blow up our spot, dude. Be quiet. That's what he's saying.
I don't know if you would fucking leave right now.
Are we all hearing this discussion, or is this just, that
It's a
Venari
choir, so I would say the choir receives the message and delivers to
Delivers it.
Venari. Whether he shares it is up to him.
Okay.
I mean, you guys could be in the room. I mean, he's just like, hey, I'm going to go talk to the choir. We need to talk to Talon Tracks. Whether or not anybody tags along, that would be...
I would definitely go.
Yes, I would.
So then you're in the
I
room.
really
and-
don't want to. I don't want to hang out making small chat for like an hour and a half while we wait for
You're
a couple of
like,
messages to come
I
in
played
and out.
Pong for 4 hours. I played Miss Pac-Man while this asshole was discovered. Like, had license
I got
to
better
be
things to
in the
do.
universe.
Yeah.
So
We're
the
gonna be
choir
hurt.
would then.
I have
if-
chaos
if-
rooms to scrawl on a wall, guys.
if
I'll be
you're with
back.
The choir. If you're in the choir's chamber, it's like a person saying the message. So you hear.
Okay.
It is of utmost importance to discuss in person. You can read between the lines. Theoretically, yes, the choir would be secure, but you get the impression that this is
bonkers.
of some degree of importance / unusual finding that Talontrax is uncomfortable
Okay, no, that's fine.
laying
So-
information via choir.
So he turns to the group then and says, do you believe it wise for us to return now, or should we force Talon Tracks to come here instead?
Send him the coordinates. I don't think we should leave right now. I don't think that is the best. If our main concern is to keep this operation going, then I wouldn't have us leave.
Well, Darius
it's
can see to the day-to-day. I'm not concerned so much about that.
Does Talon Tracks know where we're at? That's the question.
I don't believe anyone knows where we're at.
It's a known planet,
Yeah, but who
It's
gave
not
us
like
the
we
mission?
left and said, like, hey, we're going here if anybody needs
but it's
us.
not a yes. Yeah, it's a known planet, but
Yeah,
yes,
but we didn't get the
doesn't
mission
know
from Talon
specific.
Tracks. It was from. We got this mission from
The Ecclesiarchy.
the Ecclesiarchy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're kind of through them.
Yeah. Look, we haven't reported anything back to the Ecclesiarchy yet, have we?
Nope. I mean, I haven't. That doesn't mean that Jarnan
Everybody
didn't.
looks to Jarnan.
But no,
Oh,
we
sorry,
just
I was
this just happened.
praying for your souls.
Yeah.
What was that?
Did you send any messages?
To
Um,
who would I send messages?
Yeah, I guess if we know no one else knows we're here or what the mission is about other than the Ecclesiarchy and we haven't reported back yet, then maybe it is a bit safer to go to Talon Tracks. My thought was just if we want to have an upper hand in this, we're holding all the cards right now. Let's make him dance to our tune. Why are we jumping at his beck and call? It was more of a power move than I guess a safety move. If he's really that keen on what is on offer, then make him come to us. But maybe that's the wrong thing. Maybe we don't want anybody to know where we're at, and we just go and speak to him then.
And, Venari like points at you and he says, yes, that's it then. If they don't know where to find it, it would be better for us perhaps to go there. Then we, as you say, hold all the cards. And if Tim can't crack the codes to get into the shuttle, if we're not able to track down where the money is coming from, then maybe our payday is with the Adeptus Mechanicus.
So I guess that if Haldane's coming and we're not going to be here to present ourselves as the new overseers of this, then that may just be a lost investment. But I think you're right that if we can't get any more information, then striking out with a new bargain may be the best way to go.
Well, Haldane is under no he does not understand what has happened here. He will come and collect his shipment and go about his way with no inkling of what's transpired here.
Yeah, but then we won't get any of the thrones from that if we don't get any information. So what I'm saying is if we can't find out the source of where all of the thrones are going, then we just may lose Haldane at the moment, but it may be better to make some other deals on the side if we can't get that information.
Well, some of that will depend on Tim. So
and we all stare at Tim.
He's probably not even there yet. If nobody else says anything, then he would shoot back the message that after we complete certain necessary functions here, we shall return and seek out Talon tracks when we get there.
Okay. You get a response back that says, this is of utmost importance. Drop all other missions or dealings. We must determine the extent and capabilities of this substance as expediently as possible. All other priorities are unimportant.
So now he's starting to get mad. He sits up, like the guy, the choir, whatever lead person says that, and he's just like, this motherfucker. Send him this. Says a rogue trader will go where he may. And although your interest is great, I have matters to attend here before we leave. If you are indeed interested in such a thing, you will wait until my return, which will be shortly. We have dealt with explored or Talon tracks in the past and have done so fairly, and then expect the same in return.
You receive a response back. Noted. Period.
Dickhead.
I look forward to our meeting. Period.
He has him send back, as do I. And then he walks out of the room.
Nice. I like the rogue trader power play there.
So
fuck you, I do what I want. Which is true. You do what you want.
Well, we're not going into a negotiation with this being over our head. I'll be there when I fucking get there.
I like it. I'll fucking be there when I'm there. Fuck you. I like it. I like the balls.
Besides, with the fucking Navigator we have, we could be like 3 years before we get back.
7 years later, he's like, are they ever showing up? And it's like, boo!
Hey, or we get there 3 days before any of this even happens.
Yeah. He's like, what are you telling me?
Yeah. We walk in and he's listening to the first message.
Yeah.
So mechanically, so Tim comes down, we shuttle back over, do a high pass, make sure nothing's changed, there's nobody there with fucking gunships or whatever. Given enough time, is that something that he could crack, or do we make like 40 tech rolls? Like, it's like the D&D thing. Like if you search the room and you're not under duress and you have a certain
so what do you roll to crack the like financial files or like the entire encrypted files of Abernath?
Could he download it and then work on it on the trip? Right? Like if he can break into the ship and then be like, oh, here's the file, I can't figure it out. Rip, I'll just take this fucking computer out and I can work on it and
yes and no. You can, you would be able to take the equivalent of take 10 in D&D to decrypt. The tech use roll would tell you how long it would take to decrypt. The rolls specifically as immediate rolls would be literally the hacking into the ship to get access. These are armed shuttles that are well secured. And so any rolls would really be more to not trigger the alarms / defense systems of the shuttles more than it would be the data.
Okay. Well, because if he actually, I'm thinking about it, if he can get on the shuttle, we could just fly the fucking shuttle back to there to expand.
Well, I mean, you'd have to you still have to hack that, right? Because it's still got like administrator password or you know, retina scans or whatever. But the issue is more that you have secured information theoretically on the shuttle. I guess it's not entirely 100% guaranteed that all their records would be on the shuttle versus some other.
Or at all. Yeah. I'm not looking for an I win thing. I'm just like mechanically figuring like what's the.
But you would have to break into the shuttle, which the bigger issue is the shuttle security of an assault shuttle.
Okay. So I'm assuming he's part of our crack crew, so he's rolling at 40 with a +10 for my like do a good job or you're fired.
Sure.
Don't blow us up.
Sure.
Or you're fired out of the torpedo bay.
It's an assault shuttle, so I'm gonna say it's a -30 to get in. Like it's encrypted. It's got all of the possible security scanners.
Okay. So he's at 40, -30 is at 10. I give him 10, and then his combo tool will give him 10, so he's at 30.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to roll it? Or you want me to roll it?
You can roll it, but here's the thing. So that's what's going to happen. Where's everyone else? So if we'll go to initiative if you trigger something, but yeah, they're like serious las cannons will come out theoretically if he fails it.
So I think.
Do you want to be around, or are you like, if he dies, he dies?
It's that, right? So like we park around the corner. You know, so the shuttles are here at front and we like park over here. And like, we come off the ramp and we're all looking and I'm like, all right, this is what I need you to do. You've done a good job for me in the past. I believe in you. Look, it's a tech priest thing. I'm sure you can figure it out, right? Like you guys will have the same thing going on. Like you'll be fine. He pats him on the back and
we're really fucking this guy over. All right. Well, yeah, that's your choice. I have to give a huge penalty. There's a lot of security here, so we'll see what happens.
Tim, we gave you a really shitty name. I'm sorry.
66. Oh, he's looking over his shoulder. He's like, "You're sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. You're fine." Give him the thumbs up, and then like get back on the shuttle, close the door.
Okay. He triggers the alarms, which would mean I gotta drive down here to the non-capital ship because these are shuttles.
So like we're in the shuttle, like Venari's got a glass of Amasek, he's kind of swirling, he just sort of like looks out the fucking windscreen and then like lights pop up and the fucking alarm starts blaring. He's like, oh, that's probably not good. That's not gonna be good. Amos, why don't you fire that thing up? We're probably gonna have to get out of here really quick.
God. All right, let me see if I can
punch it. I pull out a data pad and start looking over the crew roster and see who's next in line to replace Tim. See if we have anybody on board.
Wow,
Go
this
through
sucks.
the manifest.
I'm trying to figure out what the actual. They don't really have like shuttles as like an option. as like. I mean, I have them, but they aren't necessarily. They don't have stats. Okay, I guess they're assault boats. Let me try that. See what weapons you're dealing with.
I mean, I'm assuming any shuttle-mounted weapon is enough to fry this dude in one shot.
I mean, that was my question, really. More than anything.
Right, it's like having an M60 on a shuttle, right? So he gets tagged a couple times and he's like blown apart.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Let's just go with. Yeah, I don't see like a weapon listed as an assault boat weapon. Oh, well, here we go. Oh God. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do this. It's got an AI operated. Let me just double check. There's nothing fancy here. Yep, got an AI operated armor piercing autocannon that comes down from a bay underneath the hull of the ship. It swivels around and it is going to fire. We're just going to call it a plus. We're just going to call it a 40 to hit. Oh God, that's a 3.
Oof.
So that's 3 degrees of success. That is. Oh no, this is real bad. So that's going to be 4d10.
Oof. Doesn't he get like natural armor for his?
Well, you tell me.
I was trying to look it up. I thought there was just like a generic tech priest in the back, but I can't.
There is. I'll get to it. I
mean, if you roll good, he's dead. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna matter. Let's see. So I'm getting 27 pen 8.
Oh yeah, even if he had Stormtrooper carapace armor, that's only 6, and he can't have more than 9 or 10 wounds, maybe. He's an NPC.
That's almost as much damage as Kynnoch just did.
Well, I don't think he would be in carapace armor, right? So like it's a moot point.
No, I mean he's a tech priest, so he will have some degree of.
I think their natural armor is 2.
Natural armor, but
and whatever
let's
toughness would be.
Say he goes up on the landing pad. Although, what was my roll? 3, so that's a 30. What's 30?
I mean, he'd get a dodge, I guess, right? Maybe.
Yeah, he'll get a dodge at 40.
God, I don't want to. Somebody else want to roll it.
Wow, you didn't even want to like fucking do this.
61.
Oh,
he was surprised. He thought he had it.
You killed Tim.
Let me look real quick. Why is this book? You know what? These books suck sometimes for like.
Laid out for shit.
All their books are really bad.
Let me just I just want to double check while we're looking at it for. There's like battle servitors, but there's no like tech priest. Why is tech priest not an option in the main book as a person?
I don't know.
Like, there's an outcast,
Because
oathbound,
they're not people.
a dead blood skinner, hired gun, colonist. Like none of that. Why is there no tech priest?
Probably because they just expect them to die with one hit.
Yeah, but they're pretty badass. That's the problem.
They have
Anyway,
their own section in the book, for sure. I'm gonna edit all this out. It doesn't really matter.
Anyway, yeah. As Tim goes up his port interfaces with the panel for the shuttle, he starts trying to upload code in order to bypass the security when a bright red flashing notification starts flashing with a klaxon siren, and from the bottom prowl side of the ship, an autocannon opens up. Space opens up. An autocannon comes down, turns to him, and then makes him essentially a paste of metal and man. Very much,
Captain Hallerman, I don't feel so good.
very much RoboCop style.
Yeah, I was just gonna say from RoboCop.
It just turns and it just. And the issue is he might have actually handled it, theoretically, if it weren't for the fact that they were armor piercing. The rounds just shred through his natural mechanicus. I don't remember what do they call. My mind doesn't work. It's midnight, guys. The like the
thermoplating.
I was thinking like whatever it's called, like when you put something like the things you it's not infused into, but
adhered.
Replaced. I don't know. Anyway, it shreds through all of the Mechanicus components, replacing his biological components that normally would provide some sort of armor piercing. It does not. It shreds through armor plating, metal, mechandrites, leaving him a bloody, oozing oil pooled mess of a man / machine on the ramp of the shuttle.
Does the gun stay out or does it go back up?
It goes back up.
As Emmaus is kind of like spooling up the fucking jets, Venari thinks about it. He puts a hand on his shoulder and he's like, hold on a minute. We should, I guess I should probably go and grab him. We don't want anybody else picking up his head and reading anything out of there, yeah?
Do you think he has a head?
Yeah. And he kind of like looks in the chair and he sort of like looks around. He's like, I don't want to take the chance that they could put something back together. Fuck. So he like slaps the door button. He says, Kane, don't get too close, but take a spin and make sure that everything is kosher before I go out there.
His servo skull.
Okay. I didn't realize it was named.
Yeah, because he's an asshole.
It goes out and sort of does a little sweep. Nothing seems to
Be salvageable.
Nothing like pops out like weapons wise or anything,
Except for an eye.
It's
Tim's eye.
yeah. So it's it makes it back and reports like pictures and scans of the body.
Is there anything? I mean, is there a head left? You know what? He wants to get it. He does. It doesn't even matter, right? Because he doesn't.
Yes, yeah. The head. It was more so torso, so the head is left.
I must take us a little bit closer. If this thing is going to open up, I don't want to have to run very far.
Do I?
Yeah, you don't really need a roll for that. You can land it close enough, sure.
All right. And Venari's in the door and he's kind of like in a squat. And he's like, all right. Finger on the trigger. All right. And he looks to see if anybody else is going to go. He's like, all right, then.
Everyone else is just sitting there watching you.
Everyone's like, I'm ready. Let's see it happen.
Godspeed, Captain.
So he kind of serpentines his way out. Kind of gets, stops and looks. Nothing happens. And he runs a little bit closer. And then he grabs the shoulders and just pulls him and starts running backwards.
Okay, you're covered in blood and faux blood. Yeah, you're covered in Tim
blood and oil.
Yeah, blood and oil mostly. As you drag him into the shuttle, nothing seems to be triggered. As you get close and grab him, you do hear sort of a, the beep beep of hey, fuck off type sort of warning alarm, but nothing comes out.
Okay. So he slaps the door button, kind of leaves him on the ground, takes his coat off, sort of throws it off to the side, and he says, well, it could have went better. I guess maybe Talontrax might be able to fix him up. And he knocks off his head, and he's like, still got the important part. It fixed the rest of him, probably. He sits him up, kind of in the
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, are you I feel like you're totally weekend at burning these guys. He's fine. He's totally cool. He's cool.
And then sorry, Tim.
You got no legs, tech priest Tim.
I guess that's gonna be a dead end then. So see what we can milk out of Mechanicus, I guess. If, of course, that meets your approval, Jarnan.
If the same thing happens next time, I am all for the next time.
Okay. All right.
So is your plan to leave?
Correct.
Now, or are you waiting for Haldane?
So his thing was try to see if he could get data from the shuttle and then go back. Seeing as it does not appear to be an option.
You can try another.
What? There's another one?
Well, I mean, you could try.
You have more tech priests.
Yeah, more tech priests. But the question is, before how long before it just starts annihilating you for walking close to it?
Yeah.
Just put another bard on the pile.
All right. No, he's done with it. That was a one and done. Darius said he was going to make the transfers. We don't know whether or not Somnius would normally be here for a transfer or not, but Darius said he would take care of it. So he's somewhat unconcerned about Haldane making a move tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that that's going to sort of just be okay. The bigger problem then is whether or not the ship that Somnius would have been operating from then comes in and lays a claim. So maybe what they do then before leaving is, all right, gentlemen, as this situation seems to be somewhat in flux, perhaps we should take a larger quantity back with us for the tech priests to play with. If they are indeed able to infuse this into ammunition or even infuse it in weapons themselves. Jarnan, I could see you with a demon slaying sword infused with the blood of a demon. I think there's a certain irony that befits you in such a thing.
Yeah, no. Not at all.
Okay. What's something on that? Well, either way, But do you believe that we should take more than we initially thought in case we are at odds when we return?
I think this wall is a lovely color.
Man, it's really hardcore. Just not having it. No.
All right, then. I guess we'll
I don't know.
take our chances then. Yeah, Venari's not going to push. He's had Jarnan kind of on his side so far, so he's not going to push it.
Okay. Yeah. So at that point, you can definitely head back to Port Wonder if that is your goal.
Is our ship... Have they been able to make sufficient enough repairs for us to be able to re-enter the warp? Because the ship got fried when we came in.
I mean, we'll cut. Well,
I mean, when we landed, he was like, "Fix the fucking ship, right? Like, do what you can." But it's gonna have.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't there that long, so I'm gonna say no. It's not fixed. Because you're only there for like 2 days.
Well, right. I mean, they're not. I mean, it probably needs to be dry docked, as we like flew almost into a star. But is it, seaworthy?
Well, okay. Sure, you can still do it. It's fine. Like I was saying, yeah. There's not really a dry dock here,
right?
So,
right.
Yeah. So it
Took a lot of hull damage, but it's still operational.
Yeah,
If we got into a fight, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of the sensors got fried, the hull took damage, like it was a shit show.
It's that's fine though.
The Geller field still works.
Yeah, that wasn't critically damaged, so that would have been a problem. Yeah.
All right, then. Yeah, we put in for wherever Talent Tracks is at, Port Wanderer.
Yeah.
I always get the two mixed up.
Yeah, Footfall is the other. You haven't been to Footfall in a long time.
We're not worried about that.
Let me. Okay. All right. I'm assuming that's gonna be good for the evening. Sorry for my lateness. It was a whole thing. So what is happening with it's midnight in Montana. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I made the notes. Yes, you are on your way back to Port Wonder, and I'm not going to make you do the Navigator rolls and stuff this time.
I pre-rolled everything. I have it all set up.
Okay.
If you want.
Oh, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Venari,
Because there's a couple of interesting results from this.
Venari's giving you the +10 as we come out of the warp because every
it's not gonna.
time.
Oh, you gave it on the wrong one. I'll take it.
That's what he's concerned about, though, right?
I will absolutely take it. Okay, so step one, the duration. I rolled a 31 out of 73 for an estimate the duration.
Okay. So it would be estimated. Ooh, I don't remember what I said for this one, but let's say estimated 2 months.
2 months. All right. Then step two, to locate the Astronomicon, I rolled a 78 out of 63. So 1 degree of failure.
Okay.
Then step three, To detect any obstacles, I rolled a 43 out of 63. So
Okay.
that's a good one.
Yeah, nice.
Yep. And then to actually determine the accuracy and time to navigate the warp itself, I rolled a 1 with the modifications. I rolled a 101 out of 73.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And then coming out of the warp for step 5 with the bonus, it's a 25 out of 63. 3 degrees of success on that at least. But yeah, I totally fucked actually navigating the warp.
Okay,
The one thing I'm usually really good at.
So you got the so the location of the Astronomicon, step 2. You succeeded on that? Right?
I failed by 1 degree.
You failed by 1, so that's a -10 to everything else. So did you do the -10 to everything else?
Yeah, it's a -10 to step 4. Yeah.
Let's see.
That's how I got bumped all the way up to
for every degree of
101.
success, add +10 to any navigation warp skill test. Oh, that's a perception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So charting the course, that was the one you got well, right?
Yep.
So 4 was the actual. And what was the roll for the step 4? The number?
101.
Okay, good. Because
2 degrees of failure.
You didn't have a 9, so that's something. Because then you come out at the entirely wrong place, which gives me
jeez,
which gives me a real fun time. So you believe it's going to take 2 months. I will say it's going to take an extra month for every 10 degrees. So you failed by 3 degrees. So you're going to 5.
2 degrees.
78, 101. Okay, 2 degrees. Yeah,
101 out of 73.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll do 2 months extra. So it'll be 4 months until you get there. But you didn't have any like weird happenings or anything. So you seem to make it clear just a little longer than you anticipated. So that's something. That seems like pretty good for you.
Venari playing it cool then.
That's the best I could hope for, honestly.
And I'm not gonna spoil what it was for, but I did roll a thing, and you did well on that. Like you don't have to worry about that one. So you're not. Nothing's gonna be waiting for you. Per se. You never know. But I got a 93, so ain't no chance someone's coming after you that quick. So that looks pretty good. So you make it a little longer than you anticipated to Port Wonder. Doc, everything seems status quo. Talent Tracks is exceptionally motivated to meet with you as you receive an in-system communique for an immediate meeting. You have VIP access and docking. Any questions? I think otherwise, we may call this one.
Champagne room access, yeah.
Yep, no, that's good. Can wrap it there.
Yeah. Sorry, it was the whole thing.
All right. Well, we'll end this and then we'll jump into post show. If you want to stay, that's cool. If you got to bounce, that's cool. We could just do something real short if everybody wants to get out.
I mean, I can stick on a little bit, but yeah, I didn't want to stay too late, so I figured we'd end it. And I think that was a pretty successful episode. So,
all things being equal, I guess.
I thought it was great, but all right.
Well, Jarnan wanted to kill me. I lost my tech priest.
Yeah, we killed a tech priest.
Buddy, yeah, sounds about right for one of our episodes.
Of all of the things that could have happened, that's pretty good.
I guess.
Just wait till what I wanted to happen happens, and then you're going to be like, "Well, I wish I was back to the day that I just got my tech priest shot by a laser." Wait till that. You're going to be like, can you just shoot a tech priest with an auto cannon? Like, nope, this is what you get now. This is what could have happened then. And I gave you more time to do it. Oh, and we'll do 200 XP so that you guys before I forget.
I may have to spend some of that on common lore
Rogue Trader. Common lore Rogue Trader. You're like, I don't know any of those guys. I don't know who those guys are.
Look, clearly they're not as important as I am.
I think it works perfect for Venari because he doesn't think that anybody else is as good as he's so self-centered.
Yeah, no one else matters. Yeah,
right. And nothing else matters.
I was waiting for that.
All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for checking this out. We do have our sponsor, Birds of a Feather Coffee Company. If you go to tinyurl.com/legendary brew, that's going to get you the awesome legendary brew. It's a nice medium roast. It's easy drinking everyday coffee. If you use the code LEGENDS10, you're going to get 10% off your order, and shipping is always free. If you click the icon, little iconography up there when you're on tinyurl.com/legendary brew, that's going to take you back to the main page where you can also find the Hummingbird blend, the Morning Lark, and the Night Owl blend. Also, very good coffees. Neil also gets some single origin stuff in. Do you have anything going on? Well, when this airs, God knows.
At this point, I will say there's two changes. So, unfortunately, the Burundi honey process, which was the best coffee I've ever roasted, I was personally very proud of how it turned out, is gone officially today in real time. So, in the future, though, I did get a very big bag of a Rwandan single origin coffee that I think is just a little hint behind that Burundi. The Burundi was a perfect single origin. The Rwanda, it's a really nice earthy coffee drinker's coffee, but with a real nice hint of dried fig or raisin on that back end of the palate that really sells it. And I will say every year it's between two Rwandan coffees that I get. One of the two is always spectacular. This time it happened to be the Mutavu. So if you check that out, I'm going to have that for a while, I think, unless it really blows through things. So by the time this is released, I think the Rwanda Mutavu will still be available. It really is a nice decadent coffee. It's got everything you want. It's got body. It's got balance. It's got some sweetness. The last time I had one that tasted like this, it was the fastest selling other than this last Burundi. We're also going to have a Guatemala coming up. And then maybe, just maybe, depending on how quickly this episode comes out, I do have a Peruvian coffee that will be a single origin that is the absolute opposite of the Rwandan. It is ridiculously floral and tea-like with super subtle flavor notes that just remind you of like a jasmine tea. It's completely different than the Rwanda for completely different palates. Both of them are awesome. The Peru is also part of the Night Owl dark roast blend, so it gives that a little bit of its balance. So the Night Owl, the Hummingbird, the Morning Light, they're always there. They're always delicious. They're always decadent. We really want to roast to optimal flavor profiles for all of those. And then the single origins are just awesome, fun stuff. So check it out. If you see the Rwanda up there, 100% buy it. If the dry process Ethiopian's on there, maybe it'll still be on there. I don't know. That I have a very tiny bit left. It's like a blueberry tea. So if that intrigues you, that's up there also. We've gotten several orders. We have some pretty loyal Legends customers, and I want to say thank you, obviously, to all of our Legends customers. We have some very regular repeat orderers every month for the Legends brew, and also even better.
You're welcome.
A lot of them are break. They buy other blends as well, so they don't just do the Legends, including Kynnoch / Jesse.
You're so welcome.
Whatever whatever last name he decides to throw on there that the mailman probably hates. I put it on there. I don't care. That's what he puts on the order form. That's what I put. And I will say, I have to give a shout out. Oscar Rios, that guy orders some coffee, and he actually, one of the few, got the hummingbird. The last time he orders quite a bit, and never the decaf. So I was very surprised, but I will say our current decaf blend, I have enough of it. I guarantee you, if you want a decaf coffee, I have to say, you've never had a good one if you haven't had Swiss Water Process. If you've never had a Bird's decaf, if you think decaf coffee tastes like cardboard and garbage, you've never had a good one. If you want a decaf, I swear to you, buy our decaf. It is the best decaf you're going to find. It's a blend. It's always phenomenal. This is the best I've ever done. And it makes maybe the best decaf espresso I've ever had, ever. So the Hummingbird decaf right now is a perfect blend. So sweet, so nutty, so delicious, very rich. All Swiss Water Process. Google that if you think it doesn't make a difference. It makes the biggest difference. Don't buy anything other than Swiss Water. This is a very long ad for Birds of a Feather Coffee Company. I love you all. I spent 7 hours roasting on Sunday, including Jesse's orders. So this is coming out tomorrow, baby, because I just sat there cranking it out. So I love it. I love roasting for you guys. I really like the support. So many people support us from Legends, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, thanks for everybody for checking it out. We also have our Patreon up as well. There's some games that haven't been posted to the regular feed just because there's so many freaking games going on all the time. They will come out eventually. It's not being kept or hidden behind a paywall. They'll eventually make their way out. But there is some of that. We also do the post show for that exclusively, and the outtakes and all that stuff now are also just available on the Patreon. So if you're interested in that, cool. Thank you very much. And obviously reviews, ratings on iTunes, whatever your podcatcher of choices is always super helpful. Tell a friend, tell your coworkers, and thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Later.
Post show?
I was like, is it ending?
I gotta leave a gap so I can fucking cut it.
I know. I was like, wait, does it actually go? It doesn't go off. I was like, wait, it stays on.
Well, you
I
know
was
what?
very confused for a second.
We probably should.
Ending it?
No, well, we probably should do this in a separate private thing, but then like everybody's got to log out and log back in. It's a huge pain in the ass. And like, who's watching a 3 or 4 hour video?
Look, if anyone's still watching, hey, kudos. You deserve this. I don't know what it is you deserve, but you deserve either the or the pleasure. I don't know which it is. But didn't go where I thought. I had still so many. There's still stuff that's gonna happen, but I didn't expect it. So,
well,
I did obliterate your tech priest. That was fun.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about like a huge penalty on the thing. I'm like, well, if he's wrong on like 40 or 50, like that's not too. Oh, geez, it's 30, huh?
Yeah, well, because like that
makes sense.
It's like a above a tech priest level guy security system. So like it's probably pretty hardcore. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a good penalty. I felt bad, but then I was like, even at a -20, he would have failed. So, Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's one of those things. It's like, well, okay, well, if we do this and we do it long enough, like, could it work? And like, then is that entertaining or not? Like mechanically, how do we solve?
I was like,
You just fast forward and you say like, okay, so now there are 7 tech priest bodies piled up in front of the ship.
Yeah, I can roll all my guys.
Eventually, I would say like it's just going to go on like some kind of alert and just obliterate everyone as you come toward it. But I was like, you know what? I think there needs to be a roll, right? Like, you can't take 10 on, like, it'd be like saying like, I'm going to break into this person's house and I'm going to get around their alarm. And it's like, well, if you fail, it's not like it just doesn't care. It goes off. But let's say you're like, I want to crack a safe in a person's house. Well, if you made it past the security, maybe you do get to dick around right until you get it right. So I was like, okay, I'll give the security roll a roll. Just so happens it didn't go super great. And then if you got in, I would have let you take 10 on the data. So it just so happens that it is an assault shuttle, and it had an armor-piercing autocannon that just shreds the fuck out of things. So
makes sense.
You know, I tried to do it the most realistic I could on like, well, what is entertaining and realistic for a person? Like, you can't just sit there and be like, what's the code? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. Like,
right.
It's gonna just say like fuck you eventually. So
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I'm also not. This goes like you said, you know, if you compare it to any other RPG, like knocking down the door. Like, are you really going to have them roll over and over and over again until somebody gets a high enough roll? Like, either have them roll once and something happens regardless, or don't have them roll at all and they just get to do it anyway. Yeah. So I think, like, having it the way that it happened
to me, it was like there's a trap on the door and you want to break the door down. I can't let you take 10 on the trap. Either the trap goes off or it doesn't. If you get past the trap, you break the door down eventually, right? So it was just the trap was an armor-piercing autocannon. So like it's kind of like it's like in D&D. There's a door I want to open, and if I don't get past the tripwire, it's 3 fireball spells. Like,
right,
we're gonna lose at that point.
So basically, what just happened is that the rogue checked the door to see if there was a trap, and there was.
Failed.
Yeah, and they
couldn't check.
They couldn't even get close to disarming it.
Yeah,
they're like, guys, I'm pretty sure there's a trap. I think 1,000 arrows straight into it. That's it. It was just an arrow fucking Gatling gun. Didn't work for him.
Well, you know what? And the aesthetic is Venari's aesthetic, right? It's like, I'm just going to send a guy and he gets murdered. And like, well, all right. Well, I probably should have figured that, right? Like, it's like shrug.
I think Venari's fault is that he sent in the person who also could unlock the if he had sent in some other schlub other than Tim, and you're like, well, shit, now the one guy that could actually get the data is dead. I guess
Yeah, I mean, there could have been other ways, right? You could have tried to like brute force it. You could have like blasted it with something, and then again, like maybe the person could get shot a fucking once by a 40 10+8 pen 8 weapon. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I looked, even a murder servitor or a battle servitor, like, it wouldn't have survived that. So, like, a battle servitor can't just take a fucking an armor-piercing autocannon from a shuttle to the chest. That's just not possible. So
I'm pretty sure that would have killed all 4 of us at the same time. So
probably.
Well, and it's not like Venari would have thought to like put him in armor, right? Like, so he came down in his robes and like just chilling upstairs, and he's like, "Oh, the boss wants me. All right, cool. Let me put my shoes on."
No, like,
he just walked up unprotected.
If you happen to have a suit of power armor, he might actually could have taken one shot from that. He could have taken that one hit if he had armor better than what he had.
Yeah. We do have that dead Space Marine from a while ago, the Chaos Marine.
Chaos Space Marine, yeah, you could have. I mean, you do have his armor. I don't know what happens when you put on a dead Chaos Space Marine's armor, but could be bad. Could he get possessed? But even Carapace armor probably would have helped him. It was close because a battle servitor, I think, had a 21 threshold, and it was a 28 damage. So if you could have
Kane's armor still up there, could have put that on.
Could have added a tiny bit of armor, maybe he would have gotten it. But, you know, at the same time, them's the breaks. Maybe if he could have got it, he could have got it, right? And then you get all that data, and
He put the best guy on
reward.
the job.
Yeah, you just don't get like sometimes you try to unsecure an assault shuttle with the equipment you have, not the equipment you want.
Well, so what
You
happened?
I'm very timely.
Poor Rumsfeld quote.
right now, he's listening to this podcast because he's our one listener. He's like, "Oh, I really wish they didn't dig me. They really gave me a real hard dig on that one."
Well, so does Jarnan go see Talon Tracks, or does he just make a beeline over to the Ecclesiarch? I can't think of the other guy's name. Dickhead is what I call him.
He's probably just going to make a beeline for the Ecclesiarch.
That's kind of what I figured.
Or Jarnan also has his connection with the Inquisition as well.
Yeah, he does have a separate. They're sort of the same, but not the same. So yeah,
I feel like that's a thread that's got to get pulled at some point, right? It's been a long time.
yeah.
It's a slow burn.
Venari looks down at his arm.
Yep.
Yeah, like I was trying to look and see. Yeah, so I have the Ecclesiarchy contact on Port Wonder.
Carnot stand.
Yes, so that's the Ecclesiarchy. I was trying to see if I had the Inquisitor listed.
I don't know that we know that.
I have someone who works for an Inquisitor as a separate person on Footfall, but you have not been back to Footfall.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah, the Ecclesiarchy is on Footfall. Yeah,
gotcha. Okay, we'll have to get there at some point.
Acolyte Noctine is the Inquisitor's agent on Footfall. They also have a scribe, a priest, also there. So,
okay,
quite a few folks on Footfall.
Well, I mean, Venari's going to try to milk the Mechanicus for all they're worth. With the caveat, I mean, he'll go in with the caveat
it's really not helping you against the Ecclesiarchy in this one. This is a real battle between the two. I feel like this is like a real dichotomy of who you're siding with, because a psyker dampening agent is like, I mean, okay, the Imperium itself be damned, which is also its own thing. Between the Mechanicus and the Ecclesiarchy, those two are like, you're really threading a needle. You're threading the needle there of like two groups that would kill anyone to get access to that. So
yeah, but I mean, I feel like this is an Inquisitor's wet dream.
Yeah,
like this would make their job so much easier.
Yeah, this is like an Inquisitor, depending on how. Yes, whether they're like, well, either way, if they want to contain Xenos or corrupted warp substances, they either want to contain it or they want to exploit it. One that would exploit it is just like, yeah, like this is just like, oh my god, I've hit the lottery, right? And then
to be able to trank an entity in order to then do whatever you want with it.
Yeah. Oh, it's such an incredible power that so many groups would murder anyone and everyone they had to get it. So you now have access.
And not only that, but anyone. One thing, I mean, yeah, the problem that Venari is going to have is not only would groups murder to get this, but they might also murder to hide the fact that it exists.
Yeah, that it even exists. Oh, the Imperium itself And part of the ecclesiarchy for sure would just be like,
Right.
wipe this off the face of the universe. Whereas another inquisitor might be like, this is our greatest weapon against chaos, right?
Mhm.
Chaos is the warp, and this dampens the warp. And it's like, so you like, it's like the most dangerous substance in the universe to some degree.
But would they? Yeah, but I mean, like, so say the ecclesiarchy or the Inquisition gets a hold of this, would they want people like? Would inquisitors want this substance to be known that it's out there? Like, they'd want to be able to use it.
Yeah,
and they'd want to be able to use it without people having the foreknowledge that it exists.
Yeah. Oh,
so like,
I'm sure then some inquisitors are like, I mean, they would hide it, right? They wouldn't want everyone to know it exists.
Exactly, yeah.
But they would want very much for their acolytes to be full aware of its capabilities and say,
oh yeah,
we like, you know, everyone in every organization in the Imperium, Mechanicus, Ecclesiarchy, Administratum, all of them are like, if I have something that lets me stab everyone else in the back to become the most powerful, then now I'm the most powerful, and that's what I want, is kind of their thing. So, like, an Inquisitor that got a hold of this might be like, I don't want anyone to know, but everyone I know is going to know, and I'm going to use that to rise all the way to the top of the elite. I'm going to be the closest to the God Emperor. And so then it's like, or fuck, maybe they want to dose the God Emperor himself and then somehow ascend themselves to be the God. That could be the ultimate heresy or the ultimate ordained prophecy. Nobody knows.
Well,
it could get crazy.
Venari would go in to talk to Talon Tracks with the caveat that the missionary knew, and that, you know, we wanted to, you know, turn this into ammunition. We wanted to work, you know, that they were going to have to, in some fashion, you know, not that he could force them to work with the ecclesiarchy, but like, hey, they're going to know because he's not here, so he's over there.
Oh,
right?
That's really not good.
Right? Like,
that's real tough.
Well, no, I get it.
I know. Yeah, regardless of the reality of the situation for Venari's, like, that's real bad for both parties. Both parties are like, I hate. That's
but here's the good thing.
The worst of the worst for both.
Both sides. Because now they both know. So he's like, nah, fuck you guys.
Well, yeah, because then it's like you fight it out, but then, yes, now it's like both of them. Yeah, because the tech priests kind of like, I mean, there's a very real animosity between them and the ecclesiarchy. Considering they may not even worship the same god, technically. Like, there's still that.
I'm pretty sure, as far as Jarnan is concerned, from what happened last session.
Yeah, he seems okay.
Well, no, but like towards the end, like Bessie actually said, like, I'm pretty sure, like, that cinched it for him that the Omnisci and the God Emperor are not the same, because like what they were doing.
Yeah, and so like they're like, I don't even know. I don't know if I don't have a good analogy of like a group that like both of them existed within a regime, but both hated each other and only worked with each other, like begrudgingly would help each other, sort of, but then constantly tried to undermine the other one. Like, it's really brutal. So it's a really interesting play to have both of them aware, because then either both, like, would they both combine against you to say, fuck it, we're going to destroy them so they don't know about it and we're going to take it for ourselves, but then fight over it later? Or is it like, are we both going to try to manipulate you to sell the other one out? You don't know. Like, there's so many options with two of the biggest power players being like, this is an unprecedented thing that was totally like under our nose the whole time, which is fun. I think it makes a really fun story.
Yeah, and it's the only one that we know of, so there could technically be more.
Yeah, there could be more. And you have a demon called the Unnamed that's like, hey guys, wasn't this cool? Wasn't it cool that I led you here for some reason?
Right. It clearly wanted us to know about this.
Yeah.
So
it's like, what does this demon that seems to be somewhat different, like, is like, hey guys, what about this thing? Like, there's so much intrigue. Oh, so much intrigue. This game gets really crazy all the time. I love it.
And I don't know if Venari would even like put that together. Like, the demon is trying to get us to do a thing. You know what I mean? Like, stringing them along. Like, I don't know that like enters his thought process.
Yeah. He's like, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah. All right, I got to try to get Jarnan not to kill me, and how much money can I make? Like, those are the two things he thinks about when he wakes up in the morning.
Don't get burned alive and make lots of money. Those are pretty good goals for just about anybody.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it went pretty well. I apologize for my lateness. I didn't know how well it would go today because, today, sucky day. But,
Well, I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, I made it, and I hopefully I did some things. And now I actually have really good ideas. I mean, I always have really good ideas, and you guys do something different. So it doesn't matter. I just have to have some really good ideas and try to adapt. So.
Well, what did you think was going to happen tonight? If that's not giving anything away.
No, I honestly thought you would meet with Zach's Haldane. I honestly thought that you were going to wait for him to show up. And that's the one thing that didn't happen. And I'm totally fine with it. I expected that you might, like when you were like, oh, does their data, like I totally thought about, yeah, that's fine. Like getting them, they'll like make sure the supply isn't interrupted, that sort of thing. But I really thought you were gonna wait or at least see what happened with Haldane. That was the only thing I thought would probably happen, and I have some things for when that does happen. But like, that's what I was like. Oh, okay. Well, we're not gonna go there at all. All right, let's go somewhere else. Let's do other things.
So like Venari's thought was like, well, if Darius is going to handle the transfer, which is a regular thing, then there's not any need to like interject into that until we figure out how.
Well, that was my question. Like, are you going to be like, haha, now I'm the one in charge? Right? To hold it.
Like, that's why you're trying to find like records and like money trails and like how many dummy corporations can I sink this through? Like, even if someone figures it out, if we can rake in this profit for 6 months or a year before they're like, hey, what the fuck? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money in his coffers without like, tilting the apple cart too much. Which is I know Emmaus kind of was saying like, oh, we should talk to Haldane, and it's like, just probably let everything just kind of take its course, and
Well, it was a question of like, are you going to be like, yeah, everything's the same, wink, or is it like, I fucked everything up, and now I'm in charge, and you're my bitch, or somewhere in between? But you were like, let's just let things ride for now. So I'm like, all right.
Well, what I'm interested to find out is if Haldane gets there, what's the normal operation? Like, is he expecting that tech priest to be there with the deal? Is it usually just what's his name? Darius. Yeah, is it usually just Darius? Is Haldane gonna get there and all of a sudden like the other tech priest isn't there and he's like, what the fuck's up? And he finds like fucking And then he finds like fucking dead bodies, and he's like, "What the hell?"
Those are all great questions.
I know.
I assume. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
You know what happens when you assume.
But I don't. We walk out and
Well, okay, I'm going to assume you clean the bodies.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't think Venari's that stupid. Like, if we're gonna proceed like everything is, status quo, we're not gonna leave 5 corpses in the middle of the mausoleum.
Yeah,
the shuttle
on the first level, like, hey, look at all these melted corpses. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
If you didn't stick around, it'd be really weird to be like, everyone you dealt with is melted to death. And he goes down, and Darius is like, the new guy told me to just give you your stuff. Who's the new guy?
See, if we did stick around, bodies totally should have stayed there. Meet Haldane in that entryway, surrounded with 7 burnt bodies.
Yeah.
That would have been the way to be like, who's your daddy now?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I assumed since you decided to make it business as usual that those were cleaned up. I'm going to assume that.
Yeah. Well, and I assume like the conversation with Darius is like, all right, like you're doing your job. We're not going to fuck with you. Don't, like mums.
Yeah. As far as you're concerned, Darius is like, okay, I do what I was supposed to. My job is to like, purify and distribute this to who my buyers are, and I do that. And you said keep doing that, so that's what he does. So he's like, he's a tech priest.
He's a robot.
Yeah,
it was
he's
like this is
just a little above a servitor, but probably a servitor almost, because like he's been basically beaten into, like, he's like, this is what you do now, and he's like, okay, that guy's dead and you're in charge now. Okay.
He's probably been doing this for 150 years.
Yeah.
At least,
yeah.
Right?
He's a Roomba. He doesn't give a shit who owns the house. He's gonna clean the floor regardless.
Yeah. He's like, I vacuum up this stuff, I put it into this thing, it bottles it into this, and I hand it to a guy, and then I get his fingerprint, and the thrones go through. That's my job. My job is just, I don't think. I just take goo, process goo, and sell goo.
And Venari assumes, and maybe they
and you didn't change it. You're like, keep selling the goo. And he's like, got it.
But he's like, if they ask, right, like everything is normal. If they ask where the other fucking tech priest says, he's out. Yep. Not like, this Hallerman guy fucking killed him and like took over the operation. Right? Like it's not
some guy came in and released the warp and melted their souls, but it's fine. Everything's normal.
Turn their brains into crystals.
Yeah.
That's more his way than like the upfront, like, I'm just gonna like be a dick to people. Like even with talent tracks, like, we're coming until it's until it's really pushed, and it's like, no. I'm a rogue trader, motherfucker. Like it takes a while to kind of get him to that point, because he's just.
I like the flex. I thought the flex was a good, like, you know what? I don't fucking answer to you, and it's like sometimes you got to let them know, like, I'm a fucking rogue trader. I'm literally above imperial law, so fuck you. I liked it.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was a good flex. Like, you're not his bitch. You're like, I'm fucking doing you a favor, bitch. And I'm like, nailed it. That's what some rogue creators might flex to start, but you're like, nah, I'll be nice to start. No, I'm sorry. You want to try to push it? Now I'm going to let you know how it is.
Yeah.
I like it. I thought it was a nice flex.
All right, I'm gonna log for the night. I gotta be up for work in a couple hours.
Yep.
All right, man.
Have a good night, all. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Night, dude.
Night.
Yeah, intimidate is not a skill that I possess. So
I do.
Yeah,
Give yourself a +10 after last.
I
you
am
take your
I
hood
am
off
trained
and
and
people
I have a
know.
+20.
Like, I don't even know what your intimidate looks like. You melt people with just taking your hood off. So like,
I
your
have my
intimidate is real nasty.
my intimidation actually comes from my mutations. So
Oh, really?
yes.
Like, yeah, I feel like you're so creepy. You're just like,
Yep.
and then people are like, I please don't hurt. Please don't hurt me, mister.
I can't remember which ones they are.
Like, I saw
I
that
have them
smoke.
list. Yeah,
Please don't kill me.
I have. Oh yeah. So you guys don't know, but so I realized that I should be gaining a new or possibly gaining a new mutation every single time I take a navigator power.
Oh man!
And so I gained
I
a few new ones that haven't
few?
come into play yet. A few, because I have to roll every time.
Yeah. You gotta roll that. Yeah.
So let's see, which ones did I get?
So yeah, what are your accumulated ones so far? Or just
Let's see, where'd they go?
the one with, I know there's like one with extended limbs. I know there's one with like really slack skin, which is creepy.
Where did they go?
No eyes is one.
I have inhuman visage.
Oh yeah, that means you like you started with that. I thought.
Yeah,
is
that's
like,
the one I started off with.
Just horrifyingly non-human in your face.
Where did it go? I know I messaged. Yeah, I didn't. I put it in the message, and then I didn't actually put them on my sheet. So I need to do that apparently. Where did that go? Yeah, one of them sucks because it actually decreased my toughness. Which is I actually just put points into that. Oh, but one of them I needed to talk to you about because I actually get I regain health.
Oh, like continuously?
Yeah. I gain one I remove 1 damage per round.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's incredible.
Let me see where it went.
You were like,
God damn it, I'm gonna
like somehow until you did that thing last time. People were like, "Hey, he's a navigator. He's not that tough." And now you're like, I can destroy everything in a room with one look. Also, I regenerate all of my wounds.
Yep. So I got 4 elongated form.
Yep.
Strangely jointed limbs, unnatural presence, and strange vitality.
Oh my god. Okay, so elongated limbs, right, is like, yeah, you're just really like lanky, weird.
Yep.
And then
so elongated form and strangely jointed rim. Yeah. So strangely jointed rims, I actually think I get.
You're like a disturbing.
I get contortion. Yeah, so I have contortionist as a basic now.
So you're like a fucking like creepypasta guy. Like
right, yeah, exactly. I'm
like,
Slender Man.
Your arms are really long and weirdly jointed, and it's like, who's this fucking guy?
Yeah,
that's terrifying, dude. Yeah, and then the unnatural presence of the inhuman.
Yeah, unnatural presence.
Yeah, which just means you're also just off-putting.
Exactly.
That wasn't enough. You're like, hey, how's things? You're like, oh. It's weird.
Yeah, but I had taken something voice, which is what gave me my initial +10 into intimidate.
Yeah, you have that voice that like, I don't remember what it's called, but yes, I know you like can be like voice of God style, like Gandalf's like, I am not.
Disturbing voice. That's it.
What? You are a nightmare creature.
I am nightmare fuel.
Like, you have weird, longly disjointed limbs, a disturbing voice, an unsettling presence in general, and you basically regenerate wounds.
Yep.
All of that fucked up. Although, what you really want to hope for is that there's one that gives you stone skin, or like there's one that gives you like a +1 armor to all of your body. Yeah, there's a one that gives your skin unnatural toughness, so you get a +1 to all of your armor. Or not armor, like natural. Yeah, I had it on a character once that was a psyker, and it's the greatest thing ever. It's like stone skin, basically.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm kind of looking at either fingers like talons or teeth as sharp as needles.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, those could be pretty awesome.
By the end of this, Kynnoch is going to
The
be
bones of your fingers have grown and hardened into talons.
I just love to think about. You're just like walking around still. Hey guys, I don't know. Like, I get like burritos, and you're like, everyone's like, I really don't want to be anywhere near you.
Well, I realize there's 500 XP that I probably want to spend on something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's your total XP right now?
Should be 15,700. Right. I had 300 to spend prior to this, and I spent 10,700 so far.
I have to do some math.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I'm the worst at keeping track of XP in games, so
It was 10,500 before tonight, so now it's 10,700.
Oh, okay.
Well, did you spend everything?
Yeah, I have.
I have 10,800 total.
I think you're behind, Kevin.
I am.
I think it should be 15.
Didn't people get bonus XP or something at one point?
I don't know if we've ever done bonus. So there's a XP doc for Venari in the thing, and I've gone through my notes like 3 times. So whatever that was up till that date is accurate.
I didn't think Kevin missed any of them, but
no, we usually don't play if somebody's not here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I guess it could have been missing. But
Okay, I'll check that doc then.
I should probably keep track, but I don't.
I usually write it in the margin of the notes.
I'm happy to show up. I'm good. I feel like I'm pretty solid. And if you guys cheat, that sucks, but whatever. I mean, who cheats at a fake game about space pirates? Come on. Right? Who's like, I'd be a better space pirate than every other space pirate for fake.
Yeah, John, I think you have a number. I think you have a number wrong there. We should be in 10,000 range right now. 15,000 would put us all the way up into rank 4.
I'm sorry. No, 500 and 700. It's sort of be like 12.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
12. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, because that would be 5,000, right? So I have 10,700 plus 500 to spend. So that would put me at 11,200, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I missed. I'm looking at the 500 and I'm looking at the. Yeah, it's fine.
God,
gotcha.
if I have to
not 15,000, because I was just looking at the thing and I'm like, geez, are we ready to level up? Because that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, when you said I was like, how fucking high? Like, you aren't at like rank 6, right? Like, that's
no. It should be 11,200.
10,000 makes more sense. 11,000 even seems reasonable, but 15, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no,
15,000 would only put us at rank 4.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I misspoke.
Yeah.
11,200.
Shit. I forget that this system goes to like fucking 70.
30. Rank 8 is 30,000.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It takes us a while to do stuff, so we don't always get XP either.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
Sometimes I forget, or just I don't do it. But I try to get something for doing cool stuff. So
Nobody's worried. We haven't died
I
yet.
am.
Well, Jarnan died once, I guess, technically.
That's right.
I think twice.
I tried my fucking ass off, man. I tried that. I swear to God, I tried last time so hard to at least maybe have one of you potentially die, and then it's like, oh, I have a power that kills everything instantly, and it's like, well, what do I do? I don't. There's nothing around that. It's like
I almost died against Kane.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Well, no, I was just like, I have a really hard thing. This is great. And then Kynnoch's like, oh, by the way, I have a nuclear bomb that only hurts. I'm like, well, fuck. I didn't know that. So.
Venari almost
either.
That was yeah. Well, no. So I've used that power before. Just I've never succeeded.
Never did that
well.
Like it was such a big roll. I was like, I mean, literally, if it didn't explode 3 times, those things still, 1 or 2 of them would have still been alive. But it exploded 3 times, and I was like, you're doing like 50 damage, pen, God knows, or ignore armor. And I'm like, nothing survives that. Nothing survives that. So yeah, it was the
I
fact
could have
that
killed the God Emperor.
like you rolled so well that like nothing survives. Yeah, like a 4 degrees of success on that power. That's just like unstoppable. So hey, the God Emperor wants what he wants. I'm not here. I'm only here to be the God Emperor's hand. I'm only here to present you with the options. And if he wants to bestow upon you the gifts of his glory, then all I'm here is to advocate for that. So
fuck the God
That's
Emperor.
one of the few times that we've even had a righteous fury. I can't remember the last time anybody's had it.
You guys don't get a ton of them, which is weird.
Yeah.
I expect more. I expect at least like the one-offs, right? It's just weird to get like 4 of them.
Yeah, well, he's making up for all the ones we didn't get.
I give up. But yeah, you guys don't get a ton of them, which is interesting. But
yeah, I feel like when we used to play with Nerdbound, it would come up, not uncommon.
Yeah, we at least got them enough that we destroyed planets and shit. So, although that one was actually that wasn't a righteous fury. That I believe was just
so far under
a 90 or something. So
yeah,
and they rolled someone rolled like an 8 or a 5 under.
It was me. Yeah,
and it was well, that's it. Like it was so much damage with like a fucking like battery, like a whatever it's called, like the broadside battery macro cannons, that it just like was like so much damage it was stupid. So it was just like, oh, you righteous furied, and it's like 80 damage from a macro can, which is like God knows what in person damage. So we just like won outright, but that was a great roll. That was a great time. Those are good rolls. I miss that guy. I don't even remember his name at this point because it's really late. But
I think it was Jack. I think was his name.
And I'm like,
"Where's my Arch Milton?"
He ran some really good. Oh no, I was saying like the guy that
Tad.
Tad. I miss Tad. He did really good games. Real sad.
Oh, and then Andy was running Deathwatch for a while. Those were fun too.
Yeah, that's right. Man, lose track of people. Paul from D&D. I don't even know what happened to Paul. Who knows?
I don't know.
He could be a fucking day trader. Who knows? I don't know.
He had a cool dog with really big fucking ears. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. We almost met at PAX once, but I didn't go that year, I don't think. But
the only people I met was you guys, because I went in 12 because you guys were all going.
Yep. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Till I got yelled at.
Which is the 1 year I didn't go.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
But then
I went. I went. Yeah, I went like the 2. When I went, it was I skipped a year, and the year that I skipped was the year that John went.
Okay, so we went the year before that also, but I didn't know you guys. So.
Well, no, I actually we met up Either the 2011 or 2013.
Did we?
Yeah, we played a game together.
It must have been 2011.
Yeah.
I don't think I went 2013. It must have been 2011.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ryan from Nerdbound is still in Boston doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's still up there.
I know I played with you and one other, so it must have been him. One other dude from Nerdbound.
Okay. It might have been Jason. So that might have been 2013 on that one. I don't remember who. No. Yeah, it was 2011. It would have been Jason.
No,
I think Ryan wasn't there because his now wife at the time, fiance, would not let him go. We yelled at him a lot. I forgot about that. Yeah, he was like, I can't go. She's so mad about it. And I'm like, because the year before, I went 3 years in a row. And the year before, he stayed out too long with Jason. And she got really pissed at him. And then that year I went and Jason was like, come on out. And so we ended up playing Zombicide at like 2 a.m. Because Ryan wasn't there. Yeah, I remember that. That's right. There we go. It all comes around. I want to go back, but who knows? Maybe one day.
I sells out like Gen Con now. Fucking tickets go on sale and all of a sudden they're friggin' gone.
Yeah, you can't get in, man. How do we get?
That's why I want to do
work on it.
There is. I mean, it got. Oh, I guess it would have begun. I guess it got. Next year will be. There was supposed to be a brand new con in Massachusetts. It was going to debut in April, and that didn't happen. So I guess they'll probably just have their debut next year.
Yeah, it'd be good to go to a con again. I want to go to another con again at some point.
We gotta try to find something that's like sort of close. Well, I mean, nothing's gonna be close for me, but
is there is there a con in Denver when we can all go get drunk at all the breweries and also go to the con? That's what I want. Or whatever there's another town in Colorado that's really big on brewing, and I'm blanking on it, but
no.
Is there a Midwest?
There probably has to be.
Right? I don't know. I went to Vail once, and I was not a fan of that 9-hour flight. That was not fun.
I mean, I do Gen Con, but that's not close to John at all.
No,
it's too many people for me. I don't. That's not something I relish. I mean, PAX. Yeah.
They look at what they're
super big convention, and it was very crowded. But I mean, we had a good time. It was fine. Like
I actually would consider PAX South. Because I've never been to Austin. They have great breweries and food, and it's smaller than PAX East and PAX Main.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's not as big. That would be fun because PAX it amuses the shit out of me. But Austin, man, we'd tear that place up.
I'd be down for that.
That'd be a good time.
I mean, I've been thinking about coming back east for PAX Unplugged, which would be super close for Jesse, but would be a hike for. But if you're going to fly to Austin or fly to Philly, it's probably better.
Yeah, that's not that far. But yeah, like I don't think PAX South sells quite as much as East, and obviously the main. But I would love to go to Austin sometime just to like check out the scene because I'm a hipster. With my look at this is my Lord Huron shirt. Although
nice.
I got that.
Listened to them yesterday.
I listened to it's so good. I'm still trying to. I got so mad. I ordered they did a wine with Echo Winery, and they had a deal where you could get. So I ordered it at the show. I got a bottle, and they shipped it, and it's fine. Like it's good. It's good wine. It's not the best wine in the world, but they had a deal where you got 2 bottles and a signed poster from all the members of the band. And I ordered it, and then they sent me an email and was like, sorry, shipping said we're out of the posters. Like, we could either give you an extra bottle of wine or, like, I guess we can refund you. And I was like, well, I really only ordered because of the poster, because I would really like a signed poster. So, okay. And then the only other thing I got from them was So Merch Bar had a thing. They had Strange Tales double vinyl, but it was gold. The vinyl's gold instead of black. So I have that, and it's gorgeous. I've never played it. I do not have a record player. So it just sits on my shelf and looks neat. But yeah, so I want to see them again. So that was the best. That's to date the best show I've ever seen in my life.
It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah,
I've
been to a lot of shows.
Yeah, I've been to a ton, and they're incredible. So
sounded great.
Yeah, I totally support that band. I'm so happy that they do what they do.
Yeah, I would go see them every year they came around. At this point.
Yeah. I keep looking and they're not around. So I'm like,
nobody's around right now.
Now they're not going to be. Now they're like, sorry, we can't be around. Between them and although the one thing, like Andrew McMahon comes here a lot, which is the only artist that seems to come here a lot, which is good, and I really like his stuff. So I'll keep seeing him. I've seen him here a couple times, but yeah, Lord Huron, I will say, man, it's in the top. I've seen 3 shows total. Like they're one of the top 3, period, like hands down for quality. And I've seen a lot. So I dig them. Shout out, Lord Huron. Follow us on what? Instagram, Twitter? I don't know. What are we on?
We're everything.
Let's say somebody from Lord Huron pays for Patreon and gets this backseat stuff. Let's say anyone pays for Patreon and they see this and also know the band. Tweet them that we really like them.
So I'll tell you this. So when I saw them here in Tucson, they'll stop playing and they're talking or whatever. And at one point, I could have sworn a guy said they were going to a club in Tucson after the show. So I'm like asking around in the crowd, right? Everybody's screaming. I'm like, where are they going? Are they go? Is that here? Like, what is that? And he goes like, oh yeah, there's a place. It's like, and I'm like, fuck, like I want to go, but like it was a work night, and I didn't work the next day, and I didn't know where it was, and it's fucking 11:30, and I'm like if I go, I can like see if I could get him to fucking call Neil in the middle of the night and be like, hey, you know who I am? Right? Because
if that would have happened, I would have pissed my pants. I would have been like, fuck it, life's over, goodbye. I'm sorry, I'm going off a bridge now.
I was more excited to go to try to get them to call you in the middle of the night.
Thing of all time, yeah.
I was to even like go and hang out because like whatever, like I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm like, fuck, like I can't call out, and it's like I got an hour drive home. I'm like, I gotta go.
Plus, if it's 11:30 for you, it's 3 in the morning for me.
Yeah. I'll be like, John's calling me at 3 a.m. I'm not answering that. And then in the morning, it'd be and I'd want to kill myself because I'd be like, no, I gotta talk to them live. Although I'm not shitting you, I swear to you. I had a beard at the time when we saw them, and they were in Orlando, and we were at Disney Springs eating dinner beforehand at this like fancy wine place, because I like fancy wine. So we were like, let's try it. This is a cool wine bar. I shit you not. I was convinced. I was like, there's another person who looks into indie music with his lady, like sitting across like the restaurant from us, that kept looking at me, and I was like, is he like? And then I thought like, I wasn't like, I didn't know what any of them looked like, but I didn't assume because he was younger. But I was like, I wonder if he thinks I'm one of the band, because I'm in, like, they were playing at the House of Blues, which is near Disney. So and then I Googled them and was like, he could totally think I was the lead singer. Like with this weird, I was like, I wonder if he thinks I'm him. Can I go like get him to buy me some free drinks or something? Like, hey man, I'm from Lord Huron. Here's some lyrics. Yes, I know that. Now buy me some wine. Anywho, I'm glad to meet your girlfriend and you, and please buy me more drinks for free, and I'll see you at that show. Bye. And then just get free really fancy drinks. But yeah, he kept looking at me and I was like, but like I'm in the age range and I'm not entirely like with a beard. If that singer grew a beard, you could probably confuse us. Like if you've never seen him live. But I was like,
I thought he did have a beard when I saw him. No,
they might have. I don't remember.
You needed a hat because I know he had a hat on for sure.
Oh yeah, the hat was. I definitely don't have a hat. He always had a hat.
I just Instagrammed the picture the other day. Yeah. Oh, he totally has a beard and long hair.
Yeah. Like I feel like So I have long. I did not have long hair like that, but I feel like if he had gotten a haircut, you could maybe confuse us if you've never seen him up close. So I was what if that guy thinks I'm him? I could pretend. Just like I could sing all their songs. It's great. It's fine. I'll sing all their songs and get free drinks until the show. I didn't. I should have. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I'll get this sweet bass going and then.
Well, I might consider doing the meet and greet thing, depending on how much it is, right? Like, because I saw Mo again, and he was doing it. And I don't remember how much. It was like $100 and something. I'm like, I really like Mo. I reached out to his publicist or whatever to try to get him on a podcast, and they got so far, and then they kind of fucking dropped it. He was in Europe at the time. Yeah. He was coming to Tucson, so I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like, we don't have to set anything up. Like, I could just go up early or stay late or whatever.
Yeah.
That didn't work. But they were doing the meet and greet, and I was like, maybe I'll fucking. I'm like, I can't, because they're like, how's it going? And rush you through and like, here's a sign thing, and like, get the fuck out. And I'm like, that's not worth $100. Like, I want to sit and chill. How are you doing? How's what's going on the road? Like, how's your family? Like, like to have a conversation like a normal person.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought about like Andrew McMahon's the one that I was like, I wonder if I could get him, because like I could tweet and be like, hey. You know how you had cancer? Because he did. He had cancer, and like several of his songs were about it. And like he told a story at his show. Like he was like, "Get this cancer out of me," and they're like, "You should like store sperm because the treatment can make you sterile. Like the chemo can make you sterile. So you should like bank sperm." And he's like, "Fuck you, just get it out." And like his mom was like, no, let's like think about it. It's like, it's not that long. Like, it's like, well, for women, it's real. Trust me, it's a very long process and it's super expensive. For dudes, it's like jack off in a cup for $150. It's not that hard. I mean, it is that hard until after. This is why you pay for the after show. Anyway, so he told the story and he was like, yes. So I dispense my product into the cup, and then they need like before my chemo or whatever, and so I didn't know what to do, and like he had to give it to his mom to like take. So he like deposits, gives it to his mom, and he's like, so Cecilia and the Satellite. Anyway, the big song that he broke on the radio, right? I think it's Cecilia and the Satellite, or Cecilia and the Satellite, I think. And his daughter's name's Cecilia, and she was born from that deposit.
Oh shit!
And he became famous from that song. And he's like, so then my mom always likes to say, hey, you know how you're so famous? I'd like to think I had a hand in that. And and he was like, she didn't say that, but it's a really funny joke. Like, this guy gets it. And so like he's amazing, he's hilarious. Like he's an amazing piano player. So he does like solo stuff, piano, and then like full band. But like so he had leukemia in his 20s and was like, I'm not going to deposit this sperm or anything. Who cares? And then he did. And it turns out like his kid was the thing he wrote, like the person he wrote the song about that made him super famous, and it was all over the radio. And so he tells that story, and I'm like, I could probably get us backstage. I could be like, hey, you know who else has cancer that I know? Can we meet you? This would be super cool. I'm starting to exploit her disease in order to meet you. I mean, she likes him probably more than I do. So there's that.
She'll be fine with it.
I'm just advocating. He would super love to meet him. So, but yeah, I want to be like, none of these other people have cancer. Look, like, why should we have to pay $100? Just meet us because you get it. You get it. Also, you only pay $100. I had to pay $10,000 for that. A lot of money, guys. And by the way, that's the pisser. My insurance would have covered it, but not. And we were on separate plans, and mine actually cut. And I was like, "What are you fucking kidding me? You cover that?" Yeah,
that sucks.
We're to check for that. I was so pissed. I was like, "Motherfucker." Would have been covered in the deductible. She would have fucking switched every time. You know, that's what happens when you get cancer.
Because she wanted to be an independent woman.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because when you get cancer in January, you've missed open enrollment. If she would have had it in November, I would have twice now. Twice, guys. I think this is a conspiracy by her to make me spend more money. It's also what you pay for the secret package. But yeah, twice now. It's been right after open enrollment where we could have saved a lot of money had we known ahead of time. But no, not the case. But she
could have switched after the last time.
Yeah, but we were like, surely it's fine. Turns out, not so much. But it's fine. He
didn't switch this time either.
I know. It was, well, we didn't because it already happened. She can't switch now unless she loses her job. But no, it's fine. She's doing better. I mean, the surgery went well, and theoretically they got everything. And then we have pretty good. The chemo is going to be less harsh than last time, but still pretty aggressive. So I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Just, I'm like, the first week was fucking crazy. I was like, oh, that's extreme. Like, I knew it was going to be extreme, right? Because you take it was double mastectomy. So that's like full on, all of your fucking chest is gone. And I'm like, oh, that's going to hurt. But like, she can like do like this with her left arm. Like, her left arm is okay. Her right, where she had the original surgery, is still pretty tight. But like, they do a pretty good job. They did a really good job. So I'm pretty stoked with how Moffat handled things. But yeah, now it's fucking paying for this again. Fertility treatment covered by my plan and not hers. The cold cap to stop you from losing your hair covered by my insurance, but not hers. So that's gonna be like $3,000 that I have to fucking shell out. And then we were like, well, we did pay all that money last time, so you didn't lose all your hair. So now I feel like it's a real waste if we don't do it at this time.
Right.
And it worked really well, even though they didn't say it would. They said, like, there's no chance this is going to work. You're going to lose your hair. Like, it's fucking, there's no chance. Like, with the chemo you're getting, it's all gone. And then they were like, oh my God, you have, like, almost all your hair. Like, who knew? And so this one is actually what it's for. So we're like, well, we got to pay it now. But now she's going to have weird, like, 3 lengths of hair. Like, I complain about my hair, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, you're just 2 wildly different lengths that can't fix. And now you're going to have 3 probably. So but, I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. She's doing pretty well. So
well, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. Moffat is fucking good. They know what they're doing. They don't fuck around. So I'm pretty stoked I'm pretty lucky to be where I am at the moment. So can't complain that much about. The weather sucks. It's like living in Satan's taint. It's so hot. Fuck. that they're one of the best centers. They're the best outcomes on the southeast. So
Nice.
Other than fucking Memorial, Sloan Kettering, and MD Anderson, they're the best there is. So I'm like, gotta stick in Tampa for a little while. But we're doing what we're doing. It's good. It's doing all right.
Good.
I like to really bring it down on the back end, like at the end of it. I really bring it down. I like to make people feel really sad. Now let's talk about buttholes. And then they can get this big if you watch the internet.
Oh,
it's called the Dragon. Google that. I'm saying Google it if you want to see how big a butthole can be. It's called
No, thank you.
And there's pornhub.com/ it's not a slash. All I know is you just go to pornhub.com and you just put dragon dildo and you will see buttholes expanded to what you will never see in your life. No, I don't even know if it's a real butthole. They might have fake ones. They might have artificial buttholes that are robots that can fit that thing because it's crazy. See, this is how we go on the after show. You pay for the fun time mechanics, and then you get down on cancer, and you get up on super big butthole dildos.
Smash that like button.
That's what, and this is also what Kevin gets to go to work on.
Kevin, are you? Wait, I thought you taught, right? Do you teach?
No,
he's IT.
Okay, I was like, yeah, it's a whole thing because, like, yeah, my wife's doing all of her stuff remote courses, and it's fucking nightmare to convert. And they're like,
horrible.
Have all of it done. They like there was a week between the end of the semester and this semester and the summer, and they're like, have the whole course for the summer ready for us to review by the start of the course. And it's like, that's literally not possible. But IT, you should be. I feel like you're probably okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm busier now than I was when I was in the office.
Right.
I can't imagine what you're dealing with. You were like, I don't know how none of this works.
We went from one day.
Yeah,
we went from one day where it was a few people working from home. The next day, the company said everybody, and we went to like 1,100 people working from home the next day. So, but no,
I can't imagine what you deal with to like keep that running. Fuck.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. So far so good. Knock on wood.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, there was an announcement. Someone at USF was on a Zoom meeting for a class, and they got hacked and Zoom bombed with someone showing their dick.
Oh, jeez.
Happening a lot.
If you're not dealing with that, I feel like you're doing pretty well. I was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, they had to send an email that there was someone Zoom bombed their dick into a class. I was like, damn, dude, that's hardcore. I don't know who hacked that, but fuck.
If they find students are doing that now, on the Zoom thing, they're just porn bombing it all the time.
Well, they upped their security, I guess. After
now
last weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the
outage on Sunday, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, for like 3 hours.
Wow. Is it?
Yeah, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because with Zoom now. So before it's like this. You send the invite out, and whoever has the link, but people were like almost guessing the links. It's a randomized number, kind of. So what they do now is, so you know how like with this, John has to let everybody in one by one. With Zoom, it wasn't like that. You had the link, you click, you're automatically in the meeting. So now they do something that StreamYard does where you have to allow every single person.
Wow.
But like with classrooms, if you have a classroom of like 30 people, you have to sit there and accept every single person. It's like,
wow. Because I know like US one with like, I think they're gonna have like 300 person class.
Oh, good luck.
Like, remote, which is insane. But I mean, they got to do what they got to do. But yeah, that when I heard like someone like
your screen's going to look like a tile floor.
I don't even know how that works. Although I think my memes now, but like, yeah, one of my friends, so my internet died for 3 days, like effectively, and cable. It was great. But like, here's the problem I have. The cable company, it dies on Thursday, right? I get an appointment Saturday morning. It starts working. They were like, we're dispatching a technician. 10 minutes later, it starts working. Tech comes and goes, so because of the whole COVID thing, we're a lot less busy. So like we convinced them to upgrade the terminal, like at the street level, like not your house, but like the street. So there's like 450 service, people service the lines plugged in there.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, maybe it didn't get plugged in all the way when we were fixing it or whatever. So like, but it seems like it's working now. Great. I shit you not. He left. Half an hour later, it goes out. He was like,
well, we can have a tech to you on Tuesday.
I'm not fucking kidding you. That I called and was like, he was just here literally 30 minutes ago. Send him back out. And they're like, we can't do that. Your next appointment is Monday at 8 a.m. And I was like, so here's the fucking weird thing. Sunday at like 5 p.m., it starts working again. Just randomly. And I'm like,
yep,
your equipment's fucked up. So the guy came out and was like, well, it's working. I'm going to replace all of your stuff, like the terminal at your house. But like, I think maybe. And I'm like, guys, stop fucking with that terminal out on the street then. What's happening? But yeah, they were like, and then he actually gave me his number and was like, call me, like, I'll fix it. But like,
there was a time about a year or so ago, I lost internet for a couple of days. And what happened is the terminal up the street from me, some guy was working on it, and the tech that came was fucking livid when he came back to the house because he checked the terminal, and all it was, the guy that had worked on it last closed the door and our cable got stuck in the door and pinched, and it killed the signal.
No way.
Yes. And the guy he's like, I cannot fucking believe that this asshole did. He's like, it's that easy. It's that easy that a wire got caught in the door,
like shut in the terminal. Door, and like, it's out. And I'm like,
and it's out. Yep.
I was like, guys, what's happened? And I'm like, he was so proud. Like, we convinced them to finally upgrade that equipment. And I'm like, and broke my shit.
Right, and twice.
Twice. And then like half an hour later, you fix someone else's shit and then fucked up mine. Fuck you. Yeah, I was so mad. But yeah, now it's finally back. But yes, I was so 3 days without any cable or internet. And luckily Verizon's like, oh, you get 15 gig free for COVID. So that was great. I could watch it. But yeah, and I have like 100 YouTube horror stories like saved on my phones. I could watch all. Yeah. All right. I'm probably getting yelled at. I'm going to check and see. I'm probably getting yelled at for being loud too late.
Yeah, we should probably. It's like 1:30.
You might want to. Yeah. It's daylight for Kevin now.
Yeah. He's got to go to work in like 10 minutes.
There you go, out the window. I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right.
Have a nice night, dude. Yeah. Or day for you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. See you guys later.
So, all right, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Catch you next time.
All right. Have a good night.